Soto. The short set, and Termolen hammers it through the block again.
Yeah, Pachorski couldn't get him that time. Mike was ready for him.
Mike Termolen, who got the Dons off to a great start, serving them to a 5-0 lead to serve again. IPFW up 7-2. Another great serve. McBride, little short set to Eric Sims. He found an opening in the middle.
But they made a mistake there. I think he was supposed to serve Prosek, but he served to Quinones, who has really been steady.
Pachorski to serve off the side out. Don's doing a great job of digging the ball up. Soto!
They call that a six-pack because they got hit in the head. It'll take a six-pack to make it not hurt anymore.
Well, Blake, we are watching Hector Soto in the warm-ups. You talked about how he's got a little compact swing, just kind of coils and then lets it fly. McBride with the little pass right there.
It was a great effort by McBride to pull the pass back over the net so he could set it, but he couldn't get a good set off.
And Prosek's kill attempt sails wide, so the Dons pick up another point. They lead 8-2. And Chris Gislin to serve. Pachorski, McBride. Prosek again is dug up. Great play there by Gislin, it looks like. And Soto blows the ball through the block and right in our lap.
That's a great set by Termolen, who is a middle hitter, but he used to be a setter for IPFW, so he's a perfect guy to set the ball in transition.
Well, this crowd in the Gate Center liking what they're seeing in the early going. 9-2 IPFW. Gislin with another great serve. Prosek, but the Dons are equal to the task. Back set, Proditis. Another one of those six-packs, Blake.
They're getting a ball. They're getting a hand on every ball from Lewis across the net, so that the defensive specialists in the back have a chance to get it up to the setter.
Well, hello, IPFW. The Dons up 10-2 in game number 1. Great block at the net. IPFW tried to block it off, but Quinones just wiped it off, and the Dons couldn't keep the ball on the court.
That's about the first time they haven't been able to do that so far.
Eduardo Quinones, one of the fine freshmen for Lewis. Now here come the Dons trying to rally.
Nice.
Soto.
You see the way the Lewis blockers, they all went with Chris Gislin's fake. They thought he was going to go inside, and he went outside.
Just that quick. IPFW picks up the side out. There's Hector Soto. Swing hitting freshman out of Puerto Rico. McBride with the set. Prosek. But the Dons keep the ball alive.
Yep.
Soto coming up from the back row. Rivera.
There's not many times where Soto doesn't put that ball away for a point. That's one they may miss later.
Well, Rivera with a little slice kill right there and managed to get it in, so the side out right back to Lewis. Mike Prosek to serve. Well, that's a good up. Proditis off the block. And the block, oh, it landed just on the back line, Blake, so that is good, and that is a point for the Flyers.
10-3.
Mike Prosek. With a good hard serve. That's going to carry back over to Lewis' side. McBride to set. Prosek comes up. Looks like another hitting error.
That was a smart set, though. Prosek's really been banging well from the back row. And he's serving well. Go to him when he's hot.
Well, Mike Prosek, the senior out of Oak Lawn, a transfer to Lewis. Started out at Ball State. Now Perrott with the serve. McBride the short set. Rivera.
That's one Ryan's got to get. That ball wasn't hit. It hung there for a while. He's got to get under that.
Soft as church music that was, and it just lofted over. Oh, Quinones with a good serve there. Don's managed to keep it alive, and a great play by Soto!
He gives the ball with his left hand because he made a mistake. He just stuck his hand out and got the ball up to the setter and then tipped it.
Now serving Brad.
Well, dink for dink. Proditis with the serve. McBride to Prosek, and the Dons with a great block in the net. Termolen and Gislin.
They had all three blockers waiting right in the middle.
So, Blake, we are seeing something special here in game number 1. IPFW up 11-3 in serving. McBride goes back set, and Rivera wipes it off the block for the side out.
They're trying to hit over Javier Escobar, who's 5'10". Any team in the country will look for him because he is 5'10", and that's where the focus of their offense will be.
Here's Victor Rivera. Little jump serve. Soto Gislin, Escobar tries to just pop it over the block. Now McBride to Bachorsky, who puts it down. Oh, that's a good hit by Bart Bachorsky.
And they funneled Javier perfectly to the sideline here. They had 3 blockers up on him. They had a guy waiting over here on the sideline for the tip. They knew he'd tip it. He should have tipped it over top of him instead of off to the side.
Well, IPFW coach Arnie Ball is calling timeout right now. He wants to settle his troops down a little bit, but it has been all IPFW in the early going. The Dons up by the score of 11-4. Hey, you too can join in the excitement of IPFW athletics by participating in the Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Club is the official booster club for IPFW athletic teams. Members enjoy priority seating at all IPFW sports events, food and refreshments in the hospitality room, admission to media luncheons, and association with other Mastodon supporters, just to name a few of the benefits. For information on becoming a member of the Royal Dons Club, call Pat Klein at 481-6643. That's 481-6643. Or you can write to the Royal Dons Club, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805.
I gotta wonder, why would they want to go to the media luncheon? We're pretty boring.
Okay, this is a test on 1. You hear me?
Okay, Rivera to serve. Ooh, a good little dig there by Soto. Carries the net. And putting it back down was McBride with the left hand.
He's dangerous. When you're a left-handed setter, that's a great advantage because you can just turn and swing on the ball. And McBride's one of the top 10 hitters in the country, as long as also one of the best setters. I call another timeout right here. He's got one more timeout to go. If they get it to 11-8, they're right back in it. I might call another timeout right here.
And Rivera puts the ball in play. Soto again having some problems, but a great save by Escobar. Soto gets it over. Now McBride. Bachorsky off of Proditis. Can Escobar save it again? He does. Here's Soto. This was it. Hector Soto. Slapped his hands and kind of tapped himself on the noggin saying, how can I miss that? It's 11-8.
That's a good question. How can you miss that?
The back set, Proditis. What a block by Bachorsky, one-on-one.
That's the 9 of Lewis scored. 6 straight boys to get back in it. And here's the timeout for Arnie Ball. I bet he's kicking himself. I bet he wished he'd called a couple points ago. I guarantee you, if they were on the road and not at home, he would have called it 11-7.
IPFW came out blazing in this match, up 5-0, building an 11-4 lead, but all of a sudden Lewis has come roaring back to cut the IPFW lead to 11-9 here in Game 1.
And Lewis's experience has started to come through. Lewis won the MIDA tournament last year, went to their first Final Four, and this year they've been playing a lot of great talent on the road. They are not intimidated on playing on the road. They've already played at UCLA and at Hawaii and at Penn State. This is nothing to them. This is a home court advantage. Might be a detriment to IPFW if they tighten up too much.
Fans, we hope that you're enjoying our live telecast of IPFW volleyball this evening. We welcome your comments and suggestions about College Cable Access Channel 6. If you would like to send us a card, address it to Channel 6 at IPFW 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46805. So IPFW trying to stem the tide here. Rivera to serve. Proditis with the up. Oh, there's a great one-handed set by Gislin, and Termolin puts it down.
And they changed their passing pattern too. They went with 3 passes across instead of the normal 2.
Now Javi Escobar to serve for IPFW, leading by 2, 11-9. And he tries the little cut serve down the line and carries wide.
Trying to serve Prosek, if you recall, earlier in the match they were serving Prosek consistently, and then they got away from it and they got in trouble.
McBride with the serve. Another short set by Gislin, and Termolin puts it through.
They got to go middle occasionally just to keep the Lewis defense honest. They were setting up 2 blockers on the outside because they didn't respect the middle.
Now Tremolin with the serve. And Perrott, the up carried over the net. Perrott was there to put it down.
As you can see again, Mike Tremolin's trying to serve Prosek. Lewis knows that they're trying to cover him up.
12-9 IPFW. Mike Tremolin, one of the early stars here in game one with great serving. McBride just aims it over the net. Sims can't put it through. Now Gislin goes across the Soto off the top of the block. Yes, IPFW another point, 15-9. Fans are telecast this evening is sponsored in part by Midwest Vending and Beverage, your local distributor of great tasting, always fresh, home juice products. Ask your grocer for them. Midwest Vending and Beverage.
Lewis called timeout. Looks like IPFW might have dodged the bullet with that timeout.
In case you're just joining us here, IPFW on top 13-9 here in game number one. The Dons closing out regular season play here at home against Lewis University. And Blake, let's kind of set the starting lineup for both of these teams as they open the match.
All right, IPFW went with Ryan Perrott, senior Bradforditis. Freshman Chris Gislin is setter. Sophomore Javier Escobar is swing hitter. Freshman Hector Soto is swing hitter. And senior Mike Tremolin as middle hitter. Lewis started senior Doug McBride at setter. Senior Bart Pechorsky at swing hitter. Sophomore Victor Rivera, their stud player, at middle hitter. And freshman Edward Quinones at swing hitter. Eric Sims, a freshman middle hitter, who's been the surprise of the Lewis lineup this year. And senior Mike Prosek at opposite.
There's Mike Tremolin to load up another serve, 13-9 IPFW. McBride goes back. Pechorsky, though, IPFW doing a great job. The back set to Praditis. Oh, what a great dig there. Quinones with the dig. Now Prosek hits it into the block. Oh, Gislin doing a great job going up there, but it just wiped out of bounds.
And Gislin had it covered. He just didn't have his hands far enough over the net.
Now Pechorsky to serve off the side out. Boy, he thunders that almost into the parking lot, way long.
I think he almost hit the ticket vendor.
This Gislin to serve for the Dons. They lead 13-9. Arnie Ball will make a substitution here.
He's playing in Brian Harris. This is a great move. Brian is the back row specialist. He's an excellent server. He's a great defensive player.
Now Chris Gislin, freshman out of Red Wing, Minnesota with the serve. McBride for Prosek, and Prosek gets it down through the middle.
What's interesting about Brian, he can only use him one time in a game. He's only allowed one substitution for someone else, so he's got to make it count.
Now the side out gives the ball to Lewis. Eric Sims with the serve. Soto.
Terrible pass.
But it comes back to Soto, and he pounds it through the block. Great job by Hector Soto to hammer it through that block, Blake.
Well, he made the mistake with the lousy pass. He had to make up for it with a hit.
Still 13-9 IPFW. Soto to serve. Oh, he ripped that one. Great dig there. And Quinones goes right down the line and rips it off of Chris Gislin. The side out goes back to the Flyers.
I think Praditis and Perrott for IPFW was shocked he was up that quick on that one.
Well, we are seeing some power volleyball at its best. Prosek with the serve, and it's an ace.
This is where they're in trouble again. It's 13-10. They don't have any timeouts left. He's got to put Mike Tremolin back in for Brian just to break up the Lewis momentum a little bit.
Mike Prosek, who just came up with that kill to serve. Lewis trailing by 3, 13-10. Prosek serve. Beautiful pass. And Praditis, clean and mean on the floor. What a great hit by Praditis. A big side out for the Dons.
He went up one-on-one with Quinones because they bought the fake. Here comes another substitution. Justin Moon is going to go in for Ryan Perrott. Usually, Brian Harris goes in for Ryan in third, but he had to use him earlier to break up the momentum, so he's got to go with Justin.
Oh, and Luna just entering the match. Serves into the net.
That's a good way to get your butt kicked. You come in as a serving specialist and hit in the net.
Now Eduardo Quinones with the serve. There was just a great hit, great set by Gislin, and Praditis coming to a little back screen there, hammers it through.
They went for a combination, and all the Lewis blockers jumped with Mike Tremolin, the first man through.
Now senior Brad Praditis, little lofting serve. McBride decides to try to put it down. He got a break there. He hit it right into the net, but got it to crawl over.
That's the kind of hitter Doug McBride is, though. He gets the break because no one's expecting it.
The side out gives the ball back to Lewis. Victor Rivera.
That was another example. If McBride is right-handed, he cannot hit that ball.
A short serve, some miscommunication between Soto and Luna, an ace. And now it's a 2-point game again here in game number 1. 13-11, IPFW. Lewis to serve.
That was a married couple play. You got it. I thought you said you got it.
Another one of those short serves. Soto having trouble, and that'll be an ace.
Soto's really, really struggling passing. If they had any more substitutions left, they might sit him down for a little bit here just to settle down. What they're going to do is they're going to switch up Justin Luna into the passing and move Hector out of it for right now.
Here's a clever play by the Dons. They have no timeouts, but all of a sudden they're finding some moisture on the floor, and Chris Gislin getting the towel out there, and they're toweling off, so that's kind of like one of those unofficial timeouts. Let's see if it works. Victor Rivera to serve. Little back set, and doesn't work. Oh, that's a great play by Quinones to keep it alive. And McBride, again, left-handed, hammers it down.
It was 13-13. It was a great backhand play by Quinones to keep the ball alive. Lewis has all the momentum right now.
Super play by Eduardo Quinones, and now Rivera to serve for the lead. Escobar, Gislin back to Escobar. Oh, Escobar!
Doug McBride's laughing because he knows he just got smoked.
The side out gives the ball back to IPFW. Yeah, McBride with one of those smiles. Where did he come from? Escobar to serve. Good serve. McBride has to hustle. Pachorsky, there's a great dig there by Soto. The set to Escobar into the net.
That's the difference right there. Doug McBride got a lousy pass. He gave his hitters something to swing at. IPFW had a decent pass and they couldn't get a swing.
The side out gives the ball to Lewis. 13 apiece. McBride to serve. Perditis. Gislin tries to wipe it through, and Pachorsky rejects it at the net.
They knew it was coming. It was a bad pass. There wasn't much he could do with it. It's Lewis up 14-13 for game point.
McBride to serve. Soto to Gislin. Back to Soto. Great dig there. Quinones keeps it alive. Now to Pachorsky off the IPFW block. Across to Soto. McBride keeps it alive. Now Sims. Pachorsky at the net. There's Escobar going across to Soto. Oh, a great dig. That's on the floor. That's on the floor. Rivera says, I had a hand underneath it. But our up official, Pat Karras, says no. Critical timeout.
Number 7.
Ryan Perot comes back in for Justin Luna.
Ryan Perot checks back into the
9 live for IPFW there.
Well, Termolen, who's been their big server here, now with the Dons trailing by 1 to serve.
Didn't get much on it.
McBride, Prosek. Great block by Gislin.
Gislin and Perot were both up waiting for the Pachorsky. It's 14-14.
That's just a tremendous one-on-one block again by Chris Gislin. Now the Dons have tied at 14 apiece. They'll serve for the lead. Termolen, boy, has he served well. McBride goes back to Rivera. He hammers it hard off the block.
Whenever Lewis really gets in trouble, they go to Rivera.
Victor Rivera, 6'5" sophomore out of Puerto Rico.
And now IPFW has to handle one of the best servers in the country right here, Mark Pachorsky.
Pachorsky with the floater. The cross set. And Soto blows it through. Hector Soto.
That was important for Hector because he got a good pass off, a good foul pass, and he got a great turnover.
14 apiece. The Dons looking to reclaim the lead. Chris Gislin with the servo. He hammers that one. That's a great up there by Rivera. Now Rivera with the hit, and the Dons with the block! With Dinas and Perot at the net.
What happened there, Lewis? Everybody was watching Rivera swing. Nobody was in position. Game point IPFW.
Serving for game number 1. Everybody on its feet in the Gate Center. Chris Gislin to put the ball in play. Here we go. Just grazed the net, it looked like. Just grazed the net.
And that's a great serve, though. You got to go for it in a situation like that.
15-14 IPFW, the side out to Lewis. Sims to serve. Beautiful pass. Back set to Soto off the block. Prosek. Now McBride through the middle. Machorsky wipes it off the block. It hits Soto.
It rolled down his armpit is what it did.
So
He was there.
By Lewis. And that ties it up once again, 15-15. Eric Sims to serve. The floater. The back set. Soto, did he wipe it off the block?
No. He just flat pulled it out of bounds.
Wow.
Another game point for Lewis.
Dexter Soto shaking his head, can't believe he missed that. 16-15 Lewis. Now the Flyers with game point. Sims. Soto. And it went too far over the net. And Eduardo Quinones puts it down. Lewis takes game number 1. A great game it was by the score of 17-15.
Did you notice how Quinones always seemed to make the big plays for them in that game? I mean, he's not one of their stars. He's like the 5th, 6th player, and he always made the big plays in that game.
17-15. Lewis wins game number 1. We'll be back with more IPFW volleyball right after these messages.
But I can't hear anything.
Mastodons are back, and they're bringing a few big guns to the party this year, including the most sought-after super recruit in the country, Hector Sky Soto, and Minnesota Triple Towers Gislin, Cummings, and McHugh, plus returning seniors Brad Berditis and Mike the Noodle Termolen. 9 Mastodons over 6'5". Let's get vertical.
Just do it. It's a cool place. Call now. Go to work, go to school, go ahead.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can change the world one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives.
I teach.
I teach.
Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I teach.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero? Teach, to make an impact on our future. Call 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Fans, Game 2 of our broadcast this evening is sponsored in part by Midwest Vending and Beverage, your local distributor of great tasting, always fresh home juice products. Ask your grocer for them. And by Aramark Dining Services. Aramark Corporation is IPFW's campus food service provider, supplying all cafeteria, vending, and catering needs. And Blake, did we ever see some great action in game number 1? Lewis coming back to win game 1, 17-15.
IPFW is probably still trying to figure out how they lost the game. They're out hitting Lewis 311 to 275 in that first game. IPFW outdug them 13-10, but the key was Lewis had 4 service aces and only 2 errors. IPFW had no aces and 5 errors. They've got to be more consistent. If you recall, Mike Termolen started off the game serving very, very well, and then it kind of went downhill from there, and they let Lewis back in by not serving tough.
Of course, this is a big match for Lewis. They come into this match tonight with a record of 14-1 in the conference, 23-8 overall. A victory tonight will clinch at least a tie for the conference championship and the number 1 seed in the MIVA tournament. IPFW coming in 12-3 in the MIVA, 15-8 overall.
But IPFW needs a big win like this at home to give them more confidence going into the MIVA tournament, which starts next week. They have to beat Lewis or Ball State at home, and this is their last chance.
Game number 2 just about set to get underway. Our officials for tonight's match, the referee at the net is Pat Karras, and on the floor is Dan Brandt. Javi Escobar to serve to start game number 2. Now McBride with the back set. Bosick with the hit. Proditis can't handle it. So the side out immediately goes to the Flyers.
Soto didn't get any penetration on the block at all. It's a really lazy effort there. He needs to get up and get over more.
Mike Bosick with the serve. A deep serve that just sails low, and so a service error by the Flyers. The side out gives the ball right back to the Dons.
That was a great call to help out his teammates by Ryan Perrott.
Now Mike Tremolin, who was terrific serving in game number 1, well, he starts on game number 2 by serving into the net.
They got to get on him early because Lewis has the momentum right now.
Side out to the Flyers. It'll be Eduardo Quinones. The short serve. Ooh, IPFW having some trouble. Well, they had to struggle with the net. Gislin just put it over, but it was put right back down by the Flyers.
Soto's nowhere in this game right now. They're going to serve him again here because he's flubbed it twice in a row now.
Oh, quick move there. That was one of those volleyball type of moves that I think he popularized. Gislin just swatted it down with the left hand.
Well, Gislin had a nice play there. Brad Proditis stepped in front of Soto to take the serve.
And Chris Gislin with the big serve. And IPFW having all sorts of serving problems here in game number 2, Blake.
They cannot allow Lewis to get a big lead here. They're in big trouble.
Well, as we noticed with the last sequence, their passing has to improve because you cannot make mistakes at the net when you've got the likes of Rivera, Quinones, and Petorsky at the net. Ryan Perrott gets it through. He puts it down, so a big side out there for IPFW.
They got kind of lucky there. Both passers turned around, looked, and luckily Javier Escobar was there to take the serve.
Here's Hector Sky Soto to serve for the Dons. It's a great upright there, and getting it through the block, right through the middle, is Eric Sims.
Javier Escobar tried to help out on the middle block there, but he's just too small.
Now Doug McBride to serve for Lewis. They lead 1-0 here in game number 2. Escobar off the top of the block. McBride in the back row saves it. Now Prosek. Bachorsky wipes it off the block.
You might have noticed there that Javier Escobar went underneath the net and came out on the other side. That's legal because he came out of bounds.
2-0 in favor of the Flyers. Floating serve. Gislin sets it back to Soto again. Good work in the back row by Lewis. A little dink by Bachorsky. Now Proditis across to Escobar, and a great job at the net by Sims and Prosek. 3-0 in favor of Lewis.
This is the worst possible thing could happen to IPFW. They look extremely flat right now. They aren't talking. They're just kind of standing around between points. They're not playing with much emotion at all.
Now Doug McBride, the fine setter for Lewis. Senior out of Ontario. He's a Canadian. Another floater. Soto. Long set. And Escobar just kind of floats it down the line.
He had to. It was a bad set. That's the only thing he could do with it. He got lucky there. He did a really nice job with it.
Well, a good break and some good reaction there by Javi Escobar. Now Ryan Perrott to serve for the Dons off the side out. They trail 3-0 in game 2. McBride with the back set. Down the line. And I think Rivera missed it. Looked like he tried to shave the line, Blake, and just cut on him wide.
He almost shaved the referee's foot off. The linesman's foot. He nailed him with it.
Dons pick up their first point of game number 2. They trail 3-1 after Lewis rallied to win game 1, 17-15. And again, a weak serve there. It ends up in the net.
It's very warm here in the Gates Dome, and you can tell that's playing a little bit on the IPFW because there's no emotion, no energy. They need to pick it up. They need to get a big kill so somebody can rally around it.
Now Bart Bachorsky with the serve for Ditas. The set goes to Escobar, and he hits it long. So that will be another point for Lewis, and the Flyers go up 4-1.
You can tell the crowd's out of it already. There's no emotion, no energy from them either.
Bart Bachorsky, the 6'6" senior out of Warsaw, Poland, and a great serve. Proditis cannot handle it, so that'll be an ace. 5-1 in favor of Lewis, and Arnie Ball has seen enough. He's going to have to call a timeout here and see if he can regroup. Fans, don't forget the College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about all of our programming to receive your free Channel 6. 881-6000.
It's 5-1 in game 2. Lewis has all the emotion, all the momentum right now. If IPFW doesn't get out of this in a hurry, don't be surprised if IPFW tries a whole lot of substitutions.
Well, and that's my question, because this match started out so splendidly for IPFW. The 5-0 lead, the 11-4 lead, and then it disappeared. They lost game number 1. Is that emotionally taking a toll right now?
And it's also taking a toll on their confidence, too. You know they're struggling. They don't. I wonder if they believe they can beat these guys in a way.
Well, hopefully Arnie Ball was reinstilling that faith during the timeout. The serve by Bachorsky. Soto ups it. Gislin. Termolen doesn't get a very good swing at it, and here come the Flyers. Rivera from the back. Now Proditis, Gislin. Termolen having trouble with the net. Proditis sets for Escobar. Off the top of the block, and the Dons will have a side out.
You can see in that play where Chris Gislin is not as confident setting the middle as he needs to be. He's much more confident going outside, but he's got to keep going to the middle to keep the Lewis defense honest.
Now Proditis to serve. Cross set. Oh, McBride just feathered that across to Quinones, and he hit a laser.
Well, you can see the IPFW block was floating out there, and it interfered with Chris Gislin's block on the outside. It was an easy hit.
Eric Sims serves, and that will drift wide right. So Lewis having some serving problems of its own. The side-out gives the ball back to IPFW. Dons trail 5-1 here in game 2. Lewis winning game 1 17-15. Kent Horman and Blake Sebring on hand here from the Hilliard Gate Center. Escobar to serve. McBride with the set up the middle.
IPFW was in the net. It didn't matter. There was nobody up on the block.
And Quinones just ripped that thing through a mile-wide lane.
Well, Mike Termolen got up late and tried to hit it, get over with the left hand, and that's not good enough.
Mike Prosick with the short serve. And again, some miscommunication between Soto and Proditis. So the IPFW Dons having trouble passing the ball. That results in another point for Lewis, 6-1 Flyers.
Right now, the IPFW young kids aren't doing anything, and neither are the veterans.
That time a good up by Soto, gets a return pass, and he hits it into the net, trying to cut it on the inside. 7-1 Lewis.
That's why we talk about IPFW needs to set the middle more, because Lewis had 2 guys up outside waiting on Soto, and there was nowhere he could go with the ball.
Prosick off the serve. Here's Soto. That time he hits the ball high and hard, and Bachorsky did not come up with it in the back row, so a much-needed side out for the Dons.
It was a much better set. He could go over top of the block with it.
7-1 Lewis, game number 2. Mike Termolen to serve for the Dons. Goes down the middle. Bachorsky barely gets the ball up. Now the Dons doing a good job digging Quinones. Proditis hits it through the block. It rides the net down, so the Dons pick up a point.
That was a big play. It looked like Mike, you can tell Brad Proditis is fired up on it a little bit. He's slapping 5 at everybody. They need more of that.
There's Mike Termolen, the senior out of Grand Rapids, with another good serve. McBride, the short ball is stuffed at the net. Now Quinones trying to keep it alive. McBride, and that'll do it. That would be 4 hits.
Now you can see they're getting a little bit more emotion. They're getting a little more active. The crowd's getting into it.
Well, the Dons trying to rally now. They trail by 4 points. They're down 7-3, trying to get the fans back in this game. Termolen with the serve. There's a good up the back set. Forget about it. Rivera.
He's quick. I mean, he was just too quick for IPFW's block that time. That was a great set, too, I McBride.
Eduardo Quinones to serve. 7-3 in favor of Lewis, game number 2. Gislin to Soto. Soto hits it again, high off the block. And IPFW reclaims the ball off the side out.
As Penn State coach Mark Pavlik said, it's nice to have a guy who can jump taller than your coach to swing at.
Well, Hector Soto certainly gets off the ground.
In other words, the last time you and I ever get to do a volleyball match.
That's it. Looks like we have a violation of the net, I believe, Ryan Perrott.
Yeah, Ryan was in the net.
So the side-out gives the ball back to Lewis. It will be the talented Victor Rivera to serve for the Flyers. Soto puts it up. Gislin, and Perrott puts it down.
That was a sweet, sweet set. That was really nice. They need to do more of that.
Great timing play there from Gislin to Perrott.
And you can tell Lewis wasn't ready for it. They didn't have anybody up. They were waiting for the outside guys.
Here come the Dons. Hector Soto. Good hard serve. Boy, great work in the back row, though. At the net, though. Rivera is closed out by Perrott and Proditis. Now let's see what happens. Oh, Soto tries to float it over. Now Proditis. Misses. Oh, does he wipe it off?
Wiped it off.
He wiped it off the block, Blake. It was a little wide, but it just caught enough of a blocker to give IPFW the point.
Let's see if Soto picks a corner now. It's fine to go up and smack the ball hard, but when you hit it right in the middle of the court, that's where the defenders are.
Don's down by 3, 7-4. Soto, another hard serve. Sails over the back line.
He tried it. He just got too much of it.
Tried to get that hard topspin on the serve to make it fall back in there. Just missed. The side out gives the ball back to Lewis. Here's Doug McBride. Soto with another bad pass. So the ace, the service ace, goes to Doug McBride, the senior setter out of Scarborough, Ontario, for the Lewis Flyers.
I don't understand why Soto's so disinterested with passing tonight. He's really struggling. He's been struggling for a couple weeks.
8-4 Lewis here in game number 2. The Flyers took game 1, 17-15. McBride to serve again. Soto bumps it up. Gislin goes across to Escobar. And Escobar hammers it off of Prosek for the side out.
And with Soto struggling so much with passing, Lewis is going to go at him on every serve.
Now Ryan Perrott, the lanky 6'7" sophomore. He's another Canadian out of Windsor.
Back.
McBride. Oh, but Charsky is roofed at the net by Mike Termolen.
If I can call it, you know the IPFW defense knows it, so they were there.
Oh, Mike Termolen, what a stuff right there. But Charsky and Termolen exchanging the family look and some smiles out there. They both realized that was a great play. It's 8-5 in favor of Lewis.
I think he asked how his mom was for Easter and how the family was, that kind of thing.
I think Bart Batorski said, you know, I gave it a good swing, and that was just good defense. Here's Ryan Perrott.
There isn't a lot of trash talk between these two teams like there is with, say, Ball State and anybody else.
The cross that goes to Prosek, and he puts her through.
And if they wanted to say something right there, they had every right to say it on that play because Lewis came right back at it.
Well, we know Arnie Ball's always run a class program, and this is my first look at Dave Doiser's crew, and obviously Lewis has gained some national acclaim in a short period of time. They just let their play speak for themselves. Escobar!
And if you notice, IPFW moves Soto rotated to the middle, and they were still finding him with the serve. He's going to have to prove to them that he can pass.
Arnie Ball said he needed a big match out of Javi Escobar, his emotion, his play to help carry this team tonight. Now Proditis with a short serve. McBride goes across to Quinones through the block. Can they dig it up? We almost get to shake hands. Oh, he laps it over! Whoa! Some miscommunication there by Lewis. And the Dons pick up the point.
That was a real married couples play on that one. Everybody just looked at each other.
Well, I think Lewis is kind of looking over here because we almost had Escobar in our lap and the ball fell safely to the floor. Let's see if Lewis can regroup. I believe so. That would be Eduardo Quinones.
I don't care how tough Proditis tries to look on that. When that ball bounced on the floor, hits you in the face, that hurts.
Well, that's one of those Jim Carrey hits, smoking. 8-6 in favor of Lewis. They'll make a substitution here right now. It will be Tim Casey coming in, his first appearance of the match for the Flyers.
Brad wishes he had the mask on for that one.
8-6 Lewis. Soto with the up. Gislin comes across to Escobar. Hits it high off the block. Perrott keeps it in play. Now Gislin. Proditis. Here comes McBride, the short set. And Rivera wipes it off the block.
What was the difference in that play? Lewis ran the middle. IPFW never went to the middle. The blockers were waiting outside for it.
9-6 in favor of the Flyers. Good serve by Casey. Good up. And a great back set by Termolen. Did he wipe it off the block, or is they're going to call it good?
They're going to say Barcharski tipped it on the floor trying for the dig.
Well, one of the side linesmen said indeed that ball hit inbounds. So a big side out for IPFW, and Javi Escobar will serve.
This is a critical point right here. It's 6-9. IPFW has to get at least 2 points coming up real quick here.
And the answer is Eduardo Quinones. The question is, who can really put the hammer to it?
That was a sweet hit.
It's a hell of an advantage for him.
9-6 in favor of Lewis.
2 and 3.
Arnie Ball not happy with some of the officiating there in that last sequence. Termolen comes through the middle and gets it down.
What? Yeah, they go back to the middle again. What Arnie was upset about was he's saying that Lewis's positioning before the serve gives them an advantage. They've got to stay in rotation, and they're cheating just a little bit on it.
Yeah, Arnie was not happy with the overlap. Now Termolen with the serve, the short set. Great job in the net by the Dons. Soto keeps it alive. Gislin with the big back set. Proditis.
Not a good set.
Now Rivera.
And a great set.
Rivera wipes it off of Hector Soto. Hector not happy. Great play there by Rivera on the wipe-off, so the ball goes back to Lewis.
The experience of Doug McBride, a senior, was excellent right there. Sinisha Dordovic, I'm afraid, graduated last year, folks. Number 5 this year is Eduardo Quinones.
And Mike Termolin, again, I think it's one of those unofficial timeout type of things. Termolin grabbing a towel at the net and wiping off the floor right near the net.
And if you recall, Quinones has been serving for a lot of points for Lewis tonight. This is a real critical spot right here. He'll try to go to Soto again.
Flyers won game 1, rallying to win 17-15. They lead game 2, 9-6. Soto with the up.
Not a good pass.
Now Gislin, back to Soto. Quinones keeps it alive. They jam at the net. Gislin to Soto. And he wipes it off the block.
IPFW got away with a couple mistakes in that play. The pass off the original serve was very weak. The set to Soto was weak, and they still got the point.
Well, McBride and Rivera coming hard at the net, but McBride couldn't quite keep it in. Now here comes Gislin. There's a good hard serve. Quinones with the up. McBride back set. Rivera through the block, but a good dig there by Gislin. Carries back over. Oh, what a great dig by Termolin. Oh, the little left-handed flip by McBride. Termolin laying down with the back of his hand, flipped it up, but the Dons could not get it back.
Another married couple play. That's 2 of them tonight for IPFW. You know, you usually see 1 a month. I mean, that's just bad preparation.
Now off the side out, still 9-6 Lewis. We've been there for a while on that score. Here's Rivera. Soto. Gislin throws the back set. Rivera. Will he be set up this time after Escobar could not get the ball down, but Perrott can. Ryan Perrott with just a little flip shot and puts it on the floor.
IPFW is getting lucky right now. They have got to get some good passes out of Soto. See, maybe he can get fired up with some serves.
Still 9-6. Now Soto raises the top of the net. So the side out gives the ball right back to the Lewis Flyers.
He has struggled a ton tonight.
Lewis coming off a big win earlier this week in Muncie against Ball State, 15-12, 15-5, 16-14. Trying to build on that tonight. Escobar right through the block.
Exactly. He can't get up as high as Soto, but he's got to be craftier, and he is very crafty with his shots.
Yet another side out, still 9-6 Lewis.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't put in Brian Harris here to serve for Ryan.
Ryan Perrott with a little flutter ball, Baczorski, and it comes right back to Baczorski. Off the net and out of bounds. So the Dons pick up a point. They get off that 6-log jam, and now they're within 2 here in game 2, 9-7.
I guess that's why Arnie's the head coach and I'm just the commentator tonight.
Again, another short serve. Baczorski has to work. And that time he hits it off of Termolin. Termolin couldn't quite get the block down right at the middle of the net.
He was in position too. I mean, he had it. He thought he had it.
The side out gives the ball back to Lewis, and it'll be the big senior, Art Baczorski with the serve. Oh, that just glides over the net. Here's Escobar, and again, he is cutting right between the 11 and 12 of Sims and Prosek.
We talked to Arnie before this. He said that he would go as Javier went. He's getting everybody fired up. The ref just warned him to keep his mouth shut. He's getting everybody going.
Proditis off the serve, and it is Termolin rejecting Prosek at the net.
Mike was up early on that, waiting for it. Timeout, Lewis.
IPFW has come roaring back here in game number 2. The Dons are now within 1 point of Lewis. They trail at 9-8. IPFW showing some spark here. And they close within 1 point here in game number 2, trailing Lewis 9-8. Once again, fans, we hope you're enjoying our live telecast of IPFW Sports this evening. We welcome your comments and suggestions about College Cable Access Channel 6. If you would like to send us a card, please address it to us here at Channel 6, right here at IPFW, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. So again, we do hope you are enjoying the live telecast. of tonight's IPFW Lewis volleyball match.
All right, IPFW came back. It's 9-8. They fought back to get back in this game. They got to really, really bear down right now coming out of this timeout. Because that's why Lewis called it, because they know IPFW is a young team and they have trouble staying focused. Here's a great point right now for IPFW.
And there you saw one of the many young fans here at the Hilliard Gate Center tonight. I just don't know if that'll be a future setter or a swing hitter, Blake, but fans of all sizes and ages come out here to check out the Dons. Their final regular season match here at the Gate Center, taking on one of the top teams in the country, Lewis University.
That looks like a freshman in the year 2015 when Lois played from the team. Side!
Quinones, boy, Eduardo Quinones has been the go-to guy whenever Lewis has needed a big point or side out.
You can hear the coaching staff for IPFW yelling inside, and the blockers didn't react to it.
Now Eric Sims to serve. Verditis with the up, the short ball. From Gislin to Termolen, and Termolen puts it through the block. Mike Termolen's having a great match so far, Blake.
It's having it for your last match of the regular season as a senior. This is the way you want to go. And if you notice again, Brad Verditis stepped in front of Hector Soto on that to take the serve.
Javi Escobar with the big serve. Prosek wipes it off the block, and it just rides the net and goes out of bounds. So Prosek with the kill. Side out goes right back to Lewis.
Left back and 3 be at middle back.
Now the IPFW
2 standing all the way over here and 3's in the corner.
Overlap again.
Yeah, the Don coaching staff is not happy at all as far as the officiating is concerned about the overlap. Prosek to serve. Soto gathers in the short ball. Gislin with the back set. Escobar, oh, great block at the net by Quinones. Now Escobar again, and he's blocked again by Quinones and Rivera. And you know, when Escobar put that last kill down, he gave it the old that time Rivera gave it right back to him along with Quinones.
And again, the coaching staff talking about to Chris, set the middle. It's 10-8.
Prosek with the serve. Gislin.
That was a terrible, terrible set. I don't know how Hector got a hand on that.
Well, he did get a hand on it. McBride and Rivera managed to wipe the ball back off the block. Arnie Ball very, very displeased. This is about as much emotion and anger I've ever seen Arnie Ball show at a match. Right in front of our scoring table, Blake, he kind of rattled the timber a little bit with the feet, and he has got a timeout on the floor.
If I was Chris Gislin, I think I'd go stand behind the referee, hide, But that set was just terrible. They told him to set middle, and he went again outside, and it was a set that no one could have hit.
Again, folks, if you're just joining us, we're delighted to bring you tonight's broadcast of IPFW volleyball here on College Access Cable Channel 6. Ken Horman along with Blake Sebring. Lewis University coming into this match tonight with an MIVA record of 14-1, 23-8 overall. A victory by the Flyers would clinch at least a tie for the MIVA championship. IPFW 12-3 in the league, 15-8 overall. Lewis ranked 11th in the country. The Dons coming in ranked 13th in the nation. And there you see a very animated Arnie Ball coming out of the huddle after having a timeout and probably a rump roasting with his team.
What's interesting, too, is if Lewis wins, they end the regular season tied with Ball State for the conference title, except they win the tiebreaker. Last year, Ball State and Ohio State, all three tied for the conference regular season title, and the Lewis went into the tournament ranked 3rd. That was it.
And Soto puts the ball down, cutting around the block, so the timeout serves its purpose for IPFW. Soto comes up with a big kill. The Dons take the side out. Mike Termolen to serve. IPFW trailing game 2, 11-8. Pachorski with the Termolen serve. That time Rivera gliding. And Soto puts it down. First the block, and then Soto puts it down to the Dons with a much-needed point to close to within 11-9.
Maybe that'll get Hector going again. And again, it's Termolen who's been doing the bulk of the serving.
Quinones. And that time after a big up by McBride, Victor Rivera puts her down.
If this was a basketball game, you'd call that a windmill slam, I think. He got all of it. And another strategic timeout here.
Victor Rivera, again, one of the real prime-time players here in Lewis, a 6'5 sophomore out of Puerto Rico. And his running mate, just the freshman, Eduardo Quinones to serve. Soto passes up. The long pass by Gislin. Wow. Hector wiped it off the block. So that time Rivera and McBride could not control Hector Soto. Side out Dons, it'll be Chris Gislin to serve.
IPFW needs to make some points up here pretty quick. It's 11-9.
And Gislin hits the top of the net.
That ain't the way to do it, though. That was a freshman mistake.
Service error by the Dons gives the ball right back to the Flyers. And Rivera. Soto. Gislin to Proditis, and Proditis through the block and down in the backcourt, right over McBride. So Brad Proditis, you can tell that Proditis and Tremolo and Blake are really fired up tonight with this being their senior year and their last matches in this building.
But you can also tell Lewis is going to win this game unless I...
Arnie Ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all the support that you've given us this year. But probably the most important support that we get are from the young men who come here from all parts of the world to share their talents with us. And this evening we'd like to recognize two individuals who have done that, who have gone over and beyond to help our program get to the point that it is right now. At this time, I would like to recognize two seniors that we have on our team, starting with 6'8", Noodle, Mike Tremolin. Michael, I want to thank you for the many contributions you've given to the IPFW volleyball program. And if I think there's ever an inspiration for anyone to work hard, to use the talents that he's been given, and to improve like Michael has in the 4 years he's been here, he certainly sets an example for all young men to come. Michael, thank you so very much. Second young man is a young man whose hometown I can never pronounce, so I won't try. He's the Minnesotan, Brad Preditis. Here, take that. I want to also thank Brad for the many contributions that he has made to our program. You all know that 2 years ago, Brad blew his knee out, had to go through total reconstructive surgery, has worked tremendously hard, has graduated with a degree here from IPFW, is now working on an MBA degree, and we're very, very proud of his not only accomplishments on the athletic floor, but certainly in the academic arena. Certainly Mike and Brad have shown the leadership and the directions for young men who come into our program. Bradley, thank you so very much.
Well, Blake, I'll tell you, probably no more classier players than Arnie Ball has had in recent memory than Brad Preditis and Mike Tremolin. Great ceremony right there to honor the youngsters, and I guess they're not youngsters anymore because they've gone through the wars with this program through their entire careers. This is their last home match. Hopefully they'll have several matches to go beyond tonight, but this is the last time they'll play in this building, and they've done a lot of things for this program and brought a lot of thrills to the fans who come out and supported IPFW volleyball.
You know, you hear a lot about college athletes who abuse the rules, and there's a lot of jerks out there, but not those two. Those are great guys, they're great students, and they've really meant a lot to this program because they provided the base for the rebuilding that IPFW has done this year after losing seasons the last couple of years.
You know, I'll tell you, when you take a look at the way this match has gone so far, IPFW on a lot of emotion roars out to the big lead. They lost the lead, and then you had a situation, Lewis coming back to win game one by the score of 17-15. They took the big lead in game two. It looked like for a while there, this could be 3 and done. Arnie Ball called a critical timeout, came over here, kicked the table a little bit, and then all of a sudden things turned around for the Dons.
And then he kicked somebody's rear end a little bit too. And here's some great statistics for you. Ryan Peratt and Mike Tremolin, the two middles, have 14 kills and only 2 errors. That means they got to get the ball more. They got to set the middle more, and they can really take control of this match if they can set the middle. But right now, Chris Gislin is not comfortable setting the middle. He's going to have to start it somehow.
Well, an interesting situation because as we talked about throughout this broadcast here so far, you think of the young, talented freshman in Hector Soto. Arnie Ball himself said Javi Escobar had to have a big night. And you have to have those guys, but certainly the seniors had to step up, and the seniors have done just that.
Well, so far, Javi Escobar has not had a big night. He's got 9 kills, 6 errors, and 21 swings. He's been IPFW's least effective offensive option right now. He's got to pick it up some more.
Fans, our telecast this evening is sponsored in part by Midwest Vending and Beverage, your local distributor of great tasting, always fresh home juice products. Ask your grocer for them. Well, the teams are stretching out. We're just about set to begin game number 3 here. All square at a game apiece. Ken Horman and Blake Sebring a long hand here at the Hilliard Gate Center. That was not me on camera just a moment ago.
Yeah, you shaved today.
Boy, what a great match this has been so far.
A hot start right now could be critical for both teams because they had 5 minutes off. I mean, that's like a TV timeout at a college football game. There's a lot of time.
Match all square at a game apiece as we prepare to start game number 3. It'll be the senior setter for Lewis, Doug McBride, to tee it up for the Flyers. So let's see where the momentum goes here as we start the critical game number 3. Best of 5, the final regular season match in the MIVA between these two teams. McBride to serve. Gislin sits it back for Proditis. Proditis puts it right down the middle, and the side out gives the ball to IPFW.
Even though it wasn't a middle hitter, IPFW did attack the middle with that play, and it was wide open.
Now Ryan Perrott to serve for the Dons. Little floater. Quinones. McBride with the back set, but Charski just gets it over. Proditis has no choice but to put the ball back in play. Now here comes Prosek. Perrott, boy, there's a good dig right there. Long cross set. Escobar just feathers it over. And Bachorski finds some daylight and blows the ball right by the IPFW block. Mike Tremolin did not get up for that.
Lewis got away with one. Doug McBride had a double hit on his first set, and the ref didn't call it.
Now Bart Bachorski to serve. The short set by Gislin. Oh, a one-handed save by Bachorski. Now the Dons return the favor, and Escobar keeps it alive. McBride, and the short ball is hammered down by Eric Sims.
Both teams, you can tell, are trying to take over the middle real early in this game.
That's a point for the Flyers. 1-0 Lewis here in game 3. The match all square at a game apiece. Now Bart Bachorski, 6'6" senior out of Warsaw, Poland.
There's going to be more timeouts to type down the floor the longer we go because it's very, very humid in the Gate Center tonight.
And Bachorski's serve sails long, so a service error by Lewis gives the side out back to IPFW. Proditis with the floating serve. Rivera digs it up. Through the middle comes Prokopek, or I should say Prosek. Good block by Tremolin. That time it looked like it hit the antenna. So it looked like Quinones hit the antenna on his kill, and the Dons will pick up their first point of game number 3.
The block was there waiting. It was not his strongest set in the world, so he had to do something with it.
Brad Proditis, a short serve. Oh, it must have just grazed the net. Just grazed the net. Prosek let the ball land in front of him and thought, wait a second, what happened? And a late whistle, they said the ball just tipped the net.
I'll give Pat Karras credit. He was bent over. He had his eyeglasses right along the net. He couldn't have missed it.
That's what you call the old nose to the canvas. 1-1 here in game 3. Escobar pounds through the block. Gets it between Rivera and Prosek.
But you can already tell there's a little bit of lull right now. There's not much emotion, not much noise. Everybody's standing around flat-footed again.
Some great emotional flow throughout the first 2 games, but you're right, Blake. I think they're just kind of in one of those cruise control patterns right now. And Rivera gets the ball through the middle block, so the side out gives the ball right back to the Flyers.
Nobody's talking much. Everybody's flat-footed.
On both sides.
Yeah. Which is much more dangerous for IPFW than it is for Lewis.
Soto. Oh,
people up.
That sure did. Just blew the ball between McBride and Rivera. 17-15, Lewis took game 1. 15-13, the Dons regroup to take game 2. They're all square. 1-1 here in the pivotal third game. Javi Escobar wiping some moisture up off the floor again. And Mike Tremolin to serve for the Dons. Bachorski, now McBride sets across for Quinones. The little dink, and it's a great play.
Bad call. Brad got his hand underneath that.
You think so? Boy, it sounded like maybe there was a little bit of ball hitting wood.
You got to remember, you got the referee who's clear across the court trying to look down and make that call. He doesn't have any angle to make it.
Well, the Dons have no choice. Oh my goodness! Well, a bad up, and the ball was just sitting there for McBride to put away, and he tried to get a little fancy. He put the ball down in his own side.
That's a heck of a spike. His own defense couldn't help him.
McBride with a big grin saying, my goodness, did I really do that?
Don't worry, Doug. It's only on tape for everybody to see.
Yeah, you cannot get credit for a kill on your own side. Gislin with a good hard serve. Oh, there's just a great kill by Soto. Hector Soto heating it up here in game number 3.
You could tell IPFW had gone middle early. The Lewis block was kind of covering the middle a little bit there.
Don's on top 2-1 here in game 3. Chris Gislin to serve. Quinones, now McBride with the back set. Good dig by the Dons. But Gislin cannot get the ball up there right where he wanted it. It hung over the net and Baczorski put it down.
Okay, there's times to try for the middle, and there's times you don't try for the middle, you don't on that. You can't set the middle when your back's to the play. Lloyd doesn't even try to do that.
Well, it certainly wasn't the high percentage play there, and the ball hung over the net, and Bart Baczorski had open season. And as you talked about, Blake, very, very warm in the building tonight, so obviously with the players working up a big sweat, a lot of moisture accumulating on the floor. Now here's Rivera. Long set. And Proditis gets it through the block and down. Boy, Gislin fired that way across court, and Proditis got it through.
Lewis was very, very slow to react there.
Side out gives the ball to the Dons. They lead 2-1 here in game 3. Match even, 1 apiece. Soto to serve. There's a bullet. Boy, there's a good up right there. Oh, boy. Rivera put the hammer to it, it looked like. The Dons were all waving like the ball went into the net. But Pat Karras said that it wiped off an IPFW block.
I don't even think an IPFW blocker jumped on that, did he?
It looked like the ball was well into the net, but Pat Karras saw it differently. Now Soto passes up. Gislin and the great back set goes to Proditis. Brad Proditis is having a great night.
And that was a sweet set. That might have been Chris's best set of the night. That was really a nice set.
Well, Chris Gislin's had a lot of responsibility on himself this year. The 6'7" freshman out of Red Wing, Minnesota, handling the setting chores for IPFW. Now the Dons come back. Prosek. Oh, there's a great save by Escobar. Soto. Oh, another great dig right there. That was Rivera. Now the short ball, and putting it down is Proditis. Second man through.
That was 2 great sets in a row by Gislin. That was a combination play. Lewis, the blockers jumped with the first man through, and it was the second man who hit the ball.
3-1 IPFW, and here is Parat. Oh, that's a real short serve. Great up by Rivera. And Baczorski hammers it off of Parat to gain the side out for the Flyers.
Boy, he got a great swing off of that thanks to McBride's set.
Lewis trailing 3-1 here in game 3. The match even, a game apiece. Baczorski. Pretty good up by Soto there. Here comes Escobar. Oh, Escobar! Javi Escobar trying to heat up his game. Dons gain the side out. They lead 3-1. Proditis to serve. Ooh, Quinones thought about it. Baczorski tried the dig, but Escobar roofs him at the net. Javi Escobar.
One more point, and Lewis coach Dave Doiser might call timeout early here.
4-1 IPFW. Proditis to serve another flutter ball. Quinones to McBride, back to Quinones. Good block by the Dons. And here comes Soto! Down the middle, Hector Soto, and Blake, you called it. Time out, Lewis.
They're peppering the middle now. We talked earlier, they had to start going to the middle. They're going to the middle, and they're starting to dominate this game.
Well, IPFW leading 5-1 here in game 3. Fans Channel 6 is now accepting sponsors for the televising of 1997-98 IPFW sporting events and other programs. For more information about how your organization can take advantage of this great opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours at 481-6000. That's 481-6000, or you can email us at channel6@smtplink.ipfw.indiana.edu. So that's the way you can be part of all the action here at IPFW and help sponsor some of the outstanding sporting events here at the Gate Center for 1997-98. There again is the address, or again, you can email us here at IPFW, and we certainly would appreciate your sponsorship and your support.
All right, now watch for Lewis to come out of this timeout, and they're going to try to hit it directly over Javier Escobar. He's 5'10". That's a weakness because he is small. He gets up, but they're going to try, I bet you $5 they try to go over top of him.
Lewis won game 1, 17-15. IPFW took game 2, 15-13. The Dons with the ball, leading 5-1 here in the third. Quinones looked like he missed everything. Oh, and Quinones looking to the heavens. He had some room and missed it all, so the Dons pick up a point. They lead 6-1.
IPFW better be careful than that. There's too much trash being talked.
And that time, Victor Rivera decided he was going to take matters into his own hands, and he got the big side out with a huge, huge kill for Lewis. Now Sims with a serve. Soto pops it up. Cross it goes to Escobar, and he manages to get it down through Rivera and Prosek.
That was a nice set by Chris off a lousy pass from X.
6-1 IPFW, game 3, Javi Escobar. Well, with the bullet, but the topspin wouldn't bring the ball down. It carries long. Boy, that's where you just do not want the service error.
See if they go back at Hector again.
Here's Mike Prosek, and Prosek, the senior opposite out of Oaklawn, Illinois, who transferred to Lewis out of Ball State University. He commits the service error. Side out, right back to IPFW. Mike Termolin. There's another good serve. Here comes Quinones off the block. Oh! Great attempt by Preditis, and Escobar just couldn't quite get a handle on it.
His hands were real quick, but not that quick.
Yeah, that was asking a lot right there.
This is a very, very good blocking side for IPFW with Gislin and Predat and Hector on the front line.
Well, some great rallying going right here. And the big hit by Baczorski is wide. Boy, some great reaction on both sides there to keep the ball going. Baczorski missed the hit, so the Dons with the side out.
Lewis has had some chances to score here, and they missed them, which is very uncharacteristic.
Here's Chris Gislin. Big serve. Quinones though with the up. Right down the middle it goes. Good short set by McBride, and Rivera seals the deal.
Ryan Perrott was very slow getting up there. He's got to be up waiting on that, and he was flat-footed.
And more maintenance being handled on the floor right now with Gislin and Termolin surveying the situation, trying to wipe up against some more moisture. Very, very humid tonight in the Gate Center. There you just had a good look at Victor Rivera, 6'5", sophomore, the middle hitter out of Puerto Rico. Very talented player. Gislin with the back set. Soto high off the block. Oh, that's just a great job. First by Quinones and then by Baczorski. Now the Dons trying to take advantage, and Preditis. Lewis was running around a bit after saving the ball twice, and Preditis took advantage.
The Flyers did a great job defensively, but they couldn't get back in a defensive position on the block. Preditis was up one-on-one. He's going to win that most times.
Hector Soto, Sky Soto, the leaping freshman, again serves long.
That ball knuckled and almost hit somebody.
IPFW on top here in game 3, 6-1. Kent Horman and Blake Sebring from the Hilliard Gate Center. McBride's left-handed serve. The short ball. Can Perrott keep it going? Well, I guess not, because I have the ball. Went off the hands of Quinones and ended up right in our lap, Blake.
I'm afraid we're going to have to call you for 2 hits, Ken. Sorry.
I don't have that good of hands. I didn't even get 1 hit on it. Here's Ryan Perrott with a short serve again. Quinones for Prosek. Oh, and the Dons just can't quite keep it alive with the net. Preditis and Termolin went up, and then Preditis with the second hit.
That's one of those, it's a reflex action when you hit it again, and you can't react quick enough not to hit it again.
Baczorski to serve. Lewis trailing 6-1 in game 3. Oh, and Escobar. What a great set by Gislin. And Escobar again just hammers it by Sims and Prosek.
IPFW has to remember to mix it up with some middle sometime to keep the defense honest, because they're starting to key on Escobar.
Oh, Preditis' serve just floats out. Looked like he was going for that far corner. And at the last second, again, it knuckled a bit and just drifted out. So IPFW having some serving problems. And off the side out, here's Eric Sims of Lewis. Escobar, that time, hello, Victor Rivera joined Prosek, and he said no sale.
What did we just say? They're keying on Escobar. You got to go middle sometime to keep him honest.
Lewis picks up the point. The Flyers now trail 6-2 in this third game. Sims with the serve. There's a good pass by Soto through the middle. Soto! Right through the middle.
That was better. I mean, they had nobody in the middle blocking.
Lewis won game one, 17-15. The Dons taking game two, 15-13. They lead the third, 6-2. And off the quick short ball by McBride, Victor Rivera comes through the middle and pops down the kill to give Lewis another side out.
He is just incredibly quick and athletic, and he's smart in the middle, and Doug McBride and he work very well together.
That's a tough set there, but oh! Javi Escobar on the one-handed set, a miracle set by Gislin, and Escobar found something to do with it. He put her down for the kill.
That was a very, very nice set. It's the only thing he could do with the ball, and he did something with it.
Now Termolen to serve. Let's see what McBride does that time again. Sliding behind was Rivera, and another kill for Victor.
That set should have been called for 2 hits. I mean, he cupped the ball basically and flung it back to the hitter.
Over the last couple of years, though, haven't they really relaxed the setting rules?
No, actually, they've supposedly tightened them up, but when you're a senior All-American, you're going to get that call.
Well, a self-defense save there by Sims off the big hit by Escobar. Now the dig by Bachorsky, but Escobar right there, down through the middle, Preditis! Preditis with the hammer.
I guarantee you, if freshman Chris Gislin had made the same set as Doug McBride made on the play before this, he would have been whistled for it.
Well, I guess there's that senior respect then. And Blake right here at center court in the front row, a very interested observer. Loy Ball is here tonight. Prosek comes down the middle and wipes it off of Escobar.
Yeah, I think he would probably get away with it, though.
I think Loy has invented and reinvented setting. He has revolutionized this game so much.
Just the pineapple alone.
Oh, there's a great up by Soto. Now the back set to Escobar. Super dig by Canonis, but it comes right back over to the Dons. Set goes to Preditis. Off the block. Ripped it off of McBride and Sims. So another good swing by Brad Preditis, and the side out goes to IPFW. The Dons lead game 3, 6-2. They split the first 2. McBride goes through the middle, Sims, but a good save by Termolen. Now Preditis. Okanotis keeps it alive, and Rivera, it's blocked at the middle by Perrott.
That was sweet. You knew Lewis was going to go to Rivera in that situation on the back row, and they were waiting on him, and the ball just landed inside the baseline.
Well, Ryan Perrott saw it coming. Great play. A big point for the Dons. They now take a 7-2 lead here in the third game, and now it's Lewis doing some house cleaning on their side of the court.
They got to be real careful. This is real similar to the place IPFW was in the first game, and they lost all the momentum and they lost the game.
Ooh, Soto just gets that one to shave the net. McBride tried that little flip trick, doesn't work, gets the ball back. Rivera, what a big hit by Victor Rivera.
I bet his hand hurts after something like that. What do you think? Man,
well, we are seeing just some flat-out power from both sides. Both these teams can just really hit it. And as Arnie Ball said as we talked to him as a scouting report before the match, he said the one thing about Lewis is they hit it hard and they come at you from everywhere, and we have seen that so far. Now McBride to serve. Escobar takes the return set right there, wipes it off the block once more.
It's time to go to the middle again. They had 2 guys up on him there, and they almost got him.
Well, Javi Escobar has been doing a pretty good job handling Sims and Prosek. When they've sneaked Rivera in there, that's when he's had some problems. Now the Dons off the side out. Perrott with the serve. McBride for Rivera coming out of the back, and a great block at the net. Termolen and Escobar.
That's why you want to get a good pass on the serve. There's nothing McBride could do with it. He had to go to Rivera, and IPFW knew it, and they were waiting on it.
Oh, big point for the Dons. They lead 8-2 now here in this third game. McBride comes across for Prosek. And that time Perrott was in position, but he just couldn't quite get the arms down. So a big hit there by Mike Prosek. A much needed side out for the Flyers. And it'll be Bart Bachorsky to serve for Lewis. Oh, another big hit down the middle by Termolen. Good set by Gislin. Termolen comes down the middle, found lots of daylight.
And you can see the Lewis blockers never got off the floor. They never expected him to go middle.
Here come the Dons leading 8-2 Proditis. McBride comes across to Quinones. Good block there by Gislin. Now let's see what they do with it. Oh, Gislin does a great job blocking again. Oh, and the short ball is hammered by Sims, and Proditis can't quite handle it.
I'll tell you what, Chris Gislin is setting his best game of the match so far. He's really playing well. He's playing smart. He looks relaxed. He looks confident. He's really giving IPFW a chance to win this game.
Eric Sims off the serve. Now the set goes to Escobar. Did he wipe it through the block? Yes, he did. Initially, it looked like Pat Karras was not going to call that a wipe-off, but one of the side linesmen said yes, so it's a kill by Escobar, side out Dons.
Actually, one linesman said yes, the other, he wasn't sure he wanted to go with that one, and then the other linesman also said yes.
McBride from the knees with the set, but Quinones misses. 9-2 IPFW.
Lewis looks very, very tired right now, Kent. They look like they could use a blow.
Well, let's see if Dave Deuser is ready to call for a timeout. They play on, and that time Prosek puts it down. Good cross-court hammer by Mike Prosek. Boy, Lewis had to have that side out to stem the tide here by the Dons. 9-2 IPFW in the third game. The back set to Escobar, and he hammers it. One-on-one, he was with Quinones in all sorts of room, and he just wiped it off off of Quinones, I should say. Great hit by Escobar.
When he went to the middle a couple of plays ago, they had to respect that. So they had a guy staying in the middle there, and that left Escobar one-on-one.
Boy, Termolen with another great serve. That time they tried that little gliding hit by Rivera, and Rivera missed it. 10-2 IPFW. Looks like we'll have a substitution, but still not a timeout called by Dave Deuser.
I think he's going to take out a couple guys, maybe rest them up for the fourth game, and see what happens.
Eric Sims will grab a seat in favor of Tim Casey, the junior out of Lindenhurst, Illinois. Mike Termolen with a good serve. Boy, McBride tried the short set down the middle by Rivera. Rivera mishits it, and the Dons pick up another point.
That was the setter's fault on that, and that's what McBride's telling Rivera right now. That's the first time tonight they haven't hooked up well.
11-2 IPFW. Oh, the serve just goes long. But the Dons building the big lead here in the pivotal third game, up 11-2.
Hey, they were up 11-3 in the first game. They can't let up here.
Quinones with the serve. Set goes to Soto. Boy, just a great effort by Quinones, and then the Flyers hustled over, but give Hector Soto another kill.
He caught a break that time because that ball was going long when Lewis played it.
11-2 IPFW. Game 3, match even, a game apiece. Gislin with the serve. That time the short ball comes down the middle to Rivera, and he has enough on it to put it down.
You notice how the ball kind of changed directions mid-set?
Doth you claim a mishit again?
I would never question the officiating, Kent. Sorry.
Well, Tim Casey, who just came in now, will sit down for Lewis, and Eric Sims re-enters. Proditis with another big hit, wipes it off the block.
You know, I mean, you can say that should have been a two-hit, but it hasn't been a two-hit set all night, so why change it in the middle of the third game?
All you ask for is consistency. And Soto misses a serve, a floater down the line that just sailed wide and long.
You're up 11-2. I'm not sure why you're trying that tricky of a serve.
Now McBride to serve for Lewis. Oh, great up. Set to Escobar. See you later.
He has carried IPFW in this third game.
Well, you talked about how through 2 games, Javi Escobar needed to dial it up some, Blake, and he has done just that here in game 3. Now Ryan Perrott to serve, 11-2 IPFW. Quinones on McBride with the back set for Baczorski. He missed it, but let's see if we have another call. Did they call 2 hits? They called a Don in the net. They called a Don in the net, so a side out.
They called Javier for me.
A side out gives the ball to Lewis. Now the Don's trying to regroup. Oh boy, just a terrible pass by Bachorski. And now Lewis having some communication troubles.
But you can see, when IPFW goes middle, Lewis doesn't have a concept in the world about how to defend that.
Brad Perditis to serve. Don still commanding this third game with an 11-2 lead. Big hit by Prosek, and Perditis cannot dig it up.
Lewis has one of the best offenses in the country, but right now, IPSW's offense is dictating play.
The Lewis side out. Eric Sims to serve. Soto the soft short pass. Now Escobar. That time Rivera blocks the net. Here come the Dons. Escobar just pops it over. McBride back to Prosek. And Prosek with a little dink, and he finds some room off of Termolen.
That was a terrible, terrible set, but Prosek made a senior play. He made something out of nothing.
And Lewis gets off the dime. They were stuck on two forever. The point gives the Flyers a little bit of life here. They trail, though, 11-3. Here comes Soto down the middle. Boy, great dig by McBride. Now Escobar. Back set comes to Perditis. Oh, did he ever hammer it.
That was a great set by Chris, a great play call. Lewis had two guys already standing over where Escobar was on the outside, so he flipped it back to Perditis, and there was no one up.
Brad Perditis just having a great night. 11-3 IPFW, the Dons to serve. Here comes Escobar. Prosek puts it up. Rivera is rejected at the net by Mike Termolen with a little help from Gislin. Oh, Rivera was looking for some room down the middle, and Termolen said,
That's 2-6-7 guys going up. That's hard to get over top.
12-3 IPFW. Great serve by Escobar. Here come the Dons looking for more. Oh, Termolen gets it through. And McBride with a very lethargic attempt there. The Dons up by 10, 13-3. And we've got a timeout on the court called by Dave Deuser. Lewis has had no answer for IPFW here in Game 3, Blake.
That's because Chris Gislin has mixed up his sets. He's set an excellent, excellent game. Lewis doesn't know where to send the blockers. They have no idea how to defend this right now.
Well, IPFW having things all its own way. Fans, the College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about all of our programming here. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, the zip code 46805, or you can give us a call at 219-481-6000. That's 219-481-6000.
I'm not really sure why Lewis called timeout there. I mean, it's 13-3. I mean, if you're going to call a timeout, you'd have called it earlier. Maybe he just wants to get the guys focused so they can get a little bit of momentum back before the fourth game starts.
And there's a good look at Loy Ball. All-American, a star here at IPFW, and of course, an Olympian.
He's okay as a player, I guess.
There is the understatement of the year. Escobar to serve. They come right back to Prosek. Oh, great dig by Perrott, but it goes into the net, and IPFW cannot play it, so a side out to the Flyers. Mike Prosek to serve for Lewis. Now Gislin comes back to Soto. Soto with a soft shot, and it's effective. It just kind of got through the block. Quinones was not there to back it up. So it wasn't a big hit, but an effective hit by Hector Soto.
And you've seen that all night. Hector and Javier Escobar both have the ability to create a shot when it doesn't look like there is one.
Oh, Termolen, who's been so proficient at serving in this match, tried for the big topspin hit again, and it just sailed wide by about 3 or 4 inches. Back to Hector Soto they come. And that time he puts the hammer through the block, and Bachorski has no answer.
Well, they had McBride and Rivera going up, but they were both floating outside, so Hector just hit it inside.
Brian Harris, the 175-pound sophomore from right here in Fort Wayne, checks in favor of Termolen. That time Termolen thought better, so Gislin thought better, so he'll reload on the serve. Termolen taking the seat in favor of Harris. Now Gislin, oh, there's the big serve. McBride decided, forget the set, I'm going for the hammer. And he got it through the back row.
Brian Harris, his sister, wasn't too shabby of a player either. Remember Kelly Harris? She was a great
She could play just a little bit too.
Okay, yeah. She led Snyder's to a state title.
Well, that time the pass went a little too high and too over, so it was almost like Baczorski going in for the slam dunk.
After what happened in the first game, I bet Arnie Ball calls this timeout a lot quicker if Lewis gets a couple points here.
Well, it's 13-4 Dons right now. As you can see, the match even at 1 apiece. Proditis can't quite get it down. Oh, Quinones can't quite get that hit. Here comes Proditis. High and hard off the block. Great wipe off by Brad Proditis.
And that was a great set by Hector. Hector set that ball instead of Gislin, and that was a very nice set.
So the Dons pick up the side out. Mike Cummings seeing his first action in the match for IPFW, a 6'8", 180-pound freshman out another Minnesotan. Now Soto with the serve, Dons leading 13-4. McBride going for it again, but that time too long. The Dons have the point, Blake, 14-4, and it's a game point coming up.
And McBride has made more mistakes tonight than I've seen in his whole career.
The fans clapping. Baczorski missed it. Bart Baczorski missed it. The Dons take game number 3, 15-4.
And there's not much he could do with that set again.
Boy, IPFW just stunning the Flyers here in game number 3, 15-4. They lead this match 2-1. We'll be back with more IPFW volleyball after these messages. Stay with us.
Intimidate, dominate, terminate. The IPFW Mastodons are back, and they're bringing a few big guns to the party this year, including the most sought-after super recruit in the country, Hector Sky Soto, and Minnesota Triple Towers, Gislin, Cummings, and McHugh, plus returning seniors Brad Proditis and Mike the Noodle Termolen. 9 Mastodons over 6'5". Let's get vertical.
Team spirit is alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
Where's dinner?
Well, I thought you'd be home a couple of hours ago, and I put everything away. So
what is this? Pizza?
You had just called me. I would have known what
dinner ready is a pizza.
Honey, please don't be so loud. Please don't. Let go of me!
Get in the kitchen!
No!
Do you want to see what hurts? That's what hurts! That's what hurts!
Oh, please. I can't. Please.
For information, call 1-800-END-ABUSE.
Daddy, where'd you buy the big TV?
Because the Mastodons are larger than life.
I think so, but,
Fans, welcome back to the Hilliard Gate Center. Ken Horman and Blake Sebring for this exciting match between IPFW and Lewis, as we are set to begin game number 4. Our telecast this evening is sponsored in part by Midwest Vending and Beverage, your local distributor of great tasting, always fresh home juice products. Don't forget, ask your grocer for them. Midwest Vending and Beverage, we appreciate their support and sponsorship tonight.
A couple of quick stats from that third game. We told you how Javier Escobar was picking it up. He had 9 kills in that third game. Brad Proditis had 10 and Hector Soto had 7. That's the kind of balance IPFW needs.
Well, the Dons will have a chance here to close this out in 4 if they can take this 4th game. 17-15 Lewis in game 1, 15-13 IPFW in game 2, and then 15-14 Dons in game 3. Lewis has a lot at stake in this one, a chance to clinch at least a tie for the MIVA championship and the #1 seed in the league tournament in 2 weeks right here in Fort Wayne at the Coliseum. The Dons, they want some pride, they want some momentum. They want to do some things here on their home floor and get ready for the tournament here that they'll be hosting in a couple of weeks.
We told you how Chris Gislin was having a great game in that third game. IPFW had 29 kills, only 1 hitting error. In 45 swings, they hit 622, which is simply amazing. Usually you try to hit 300.
Fourth game underway. Soto starts it off, but Chorsky wipes it off of Ryan Perrott and Escobar. That gives the side out to Lewis. And it'll be the talented senior out of Warsaw, Poland, Bart Pachorski to serve for the Flyers. Ooh, there's a big hit. Broditis keeps it in play, but over the net, and putting it right down is Eric Sims. So that was a missile by Pachorski. Broditis managed to get it up, but it lofted over onto the Lewis side. Sims made quick work.
It's very, very important that IPFW doesn't lose the momentum they've gained. You do not want to go into a rally-scoring 5th game with a freshman setter going against a senior All-American setter.
Well, 1-0 Lewis here in the early going of game 4. Pachorski serves it into the net for a service error. So the side out gives the ball to the Dons, and Ryan Perrott to serve for IPFW. Puts a little more starch on it. McBride and Canonis wipes it off of Broditis. So Eduardo Canonis with the kill, and the side out puts the ball right back in the hands of the Flyers.
Again, you can see the energy level starting to slip a little bit.
Oh, Soto decided to play the ball. Now Broditis, the big hit, but it's long. Don't know if that serve would have sailed long, Blake, but Hector Soto played it, and Broditis' hit was long.
It was going long, period. That was a big mistake. That was a 2-point play for IPFW.
And there you have a service error by Lewis. So the Flyers making some uncharacteristic mistakes. Now it's Brad Broditis to serve for the Dons. Oh, Prosek gets it around the block and just hammers it off of Ryan Perrott. So another side out for Lewis.
You can see they're all standing around flat-footed, looking at each other. Nobody's talking anymore.
2-0 Flyers. Escobar with the up, and Termolin on the short set manages to dribble it through the net. Chris Gislin is laughing. He wasn't very proud of that set. Termolin wasn't very proud of the hit, but it produced results.
But again, there's nobody, they don't respect IPFW's ability to go to the middle.
Well, Escobar now with the service error, so as you say, Blake, the Dons playing a little sloppy here in the opening moments of game number 4. Leading this match 2-1. Lewis on top 2-0 here in the 4th game. Well, a wild back set attempt by Gislin. That is not exactly what you would call a high percentage serve.
And that should have been called right away. That should have been called right away as a double hit. The ball was rolling better than a curveball.
And Arnie Ball does not like what he sees here in the opening moments of game number 4, so he is called timeout. 3-0 Lewis here in the early going of game number 4. Ken Horman and Blake Sebring live from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here in Fort Wayne. Lewis winning game number 1, 17-15. IPFW taking the second game, 15-13. And then running away with the third game, 15-4. But Lewis comes out firing here in game number 4, Blake.
And if you recall how earlier when there was a timeout, Arnie Ball was screaming and yelling. He was really upset with his team. He's just, right now, he's trying to be more reassuring to give the guys time to relax and say, hey, just pick up your energy level. You're all right.
Well, and there's another look at Olympian Loy Ball. I think Loy's saying, wait a second, is there an extra uniform here I can sneak on real quick? The linesman says, no, I'm watching you, Loy.
Yeah, always arguing with the officials.
I'll tell you, Loy certainly looks fit. All of the hard work and effort he has put into his career, and it's paid huge dividends as one of the linchpins of our national volleyball team. Whoa, out of the timeout, Hector Soto comes out smoking, so the Dons get the side out they need.
And Mike Termolin has served very well all match. Let's see if he can keep it going and get him back into this game.
The senior middle hitter out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Dons trail 3-0 here in the 4th game, leading the match 2-1. Oh, and at the net, Rivera is rejected by Perrott.
And that was a play, the defense was called from the IPFW bench. They knew it was coming.
Oh, just a magnificent block by Ryan Perrott gives the Dons their first point of game 4. Great serve by Termolin.
And then he got
almost
the dig
too
up.
good. Soto with a beautiful dig! A 3-man block, and Hector Soto, beautiful timing, the dink for the point.
And that was a fantastic play by Mike Termolin. He got the great serve, and then he hustled into position to get the dig up.
Soto just lofted it right over McBride, Bachorsky and Rivera, and then Termolin hammers the serve into the net.
And then he shoves the ball back into the alley back there.
Dons now within 1, down 3-2 in game 4.
Nice pass.
Straight up by Proditis, and it's Perrott ripping it off of Quinones.
Have you seen a Lewis blocker up against IPFW's middle all night?
No, IPFW with a good quick burst down the middle, a short set, and there's really nobody there to try to defend them.
You get the feeling if IPFW could run 5 plays in a row the middle, the match would be over.
Prosek tries to come up with a big hit, and it's just long, so here come the Dons. They've rallied to tie this up, 3-3.
Tie ball game. Lewis has lost its early momentum again.
Now the freshman, Chris Gislin. The big serve, McBride with a short ball. Oh, Sims, a great dig by Gislin. What a super play by Proditis to keep it alive. And then McBride puts it down, but a magnificent play by Proditis to save the ball.
That doesn't hurt you, though. It's a side out. It doesn't a point. That's the kind of play you can build energy and momentum off of.
3-3, McBride to serve. Little floater. Comes across to Proditis, and Proditis again just hammers it right through. Sims and Prosek. Blake, it seems throughout this match, Sims and Prosek have been having all sorts of troubles when they've been blocking together.
Well, and then IPFW assistant coach Dave Schmidl is saying line, 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 and he's telling Brad where the block is, so Brad went inside on it.
Well, Hector Soto promptly serves into the net, so the side out goes right back to Lewis. 3-3 in game number 4. IPFW leading this regular season-ending match, 2-1. Now Bachorsky with the serve.
Nice play.
Great save by Soto. Now a good save there by Lewis. And the big hit. Oh, what a dig by Soto off of Quinones. Now McBride is digging out of the net. Escobar. And they rule a Lewis player was in the net.
Mike Prosek was in the net on the block. He was trying to get up in time to block Escobar. IPFW takes the lead, 4-3.
Well, the Dons are just really playing well right now. Now Perrott with a short serve. Against some confusion. And a great block at the net. Oh, Termolin and Proditis with a super block. And again, Quinones is blocked, and then the block came right back into Quinones. The Dons pick up the point. They lead. We'll have to check the scoring. I believe it's 5-3, is it not?
It's actually 4-3. They gave IPFW a point earlier when they shouldn't have.
Okay, the Dons do have the lead, though, 4-3. And it looked like Prosek got the ball through the block, and then in the back row, a little confusion by the Dons.
Things are going very well for IPFW defensively right now because they are getting a hand on everything at the net.
4-3 IPFW. The Dons come through the middle. Proditis says so long. Coming off a great screen by Termolin.
And again, Lewis has no answer for IPFW's middle.
Now Brad Proditis coming off the big hit. Now he'll serve. Quinones, McBride, and Prosek. Nobody there to block for IPFW that time. Again, wasn't the big hit by Prosek, but it was effective. So now a little bit of a side-out swap by each team. Good look at Mike Prosek. Didn't like his toss, so he'll reload the serve. Ooh, Escobar having the trouble, and Quinones. You don't make mistakes like that at the net with Eduardo Quinones lurking about. The point ties it up 4-4. Mike Prosek, again, a transfer. Started Spirit Ball State. Now Termola with the back set to Escobar. And Escobar misses it.
That was a big time.
Oh, he did not miss it. Blakey got it down over the net. He got it into the block and through the net.
He basically shoved it down their throats. That was a great play by Escobar.
Well, I thought for a second that was on the Don side, but he wrote it right down the chest of Rivera.
Well, what happens, I'll explain what happens after this play. Falls out.
And Quinones looks like he's losing some of his energy, so that hit goes long. 5-4 IPFW.
What happens is you see Escobar so short, and you want to get up as high as you can because he jumps so well. Well, he just hits it underneath your arms and right down your chest. Again, that ball was tipped again, wasn't it? It was right in front of us. He's got to look all the way across the court and try to make that call. And that ball was tipped.
Well, a great short set there by McBride, and then again Rivera with a super little drop shot. And again, the talking on the floor has ticked up just a wee bit. Perhaps, well, Lewis is trying to motivate themselves a bit, maybe get IPFW involved just a hair to shake them off their game some because the Dons are focused. Here comes Proditis down the horn again. Rips it off the Prosek.
It's like there's a lane up there. It looks like the old Green Bay Packers sweep, except they're running up the middle and it's wide open.
The side out gives the ball to the Dons. Here's Termolen to serve. IPFW leading the match 2-1. This game 5-4. Quinones, now McBride, the cross set goes. But Chorsky wipes it off of Gislin. So the side out gives the ball back to the Flyers. And it will be Victor Rivera. Deep floating serve. Proditis with the set. Here comes Soto. Great block by Sims. Eric Sims with McBride right by his side. Just roofed the ball right down.
Yeah, Hector, get ready. Here comes the serve again after you mess that one up.
This game even at 5. Proditis with a good pass. Now here comes Soto. Another good block at the net by McBride. Back set by Gislin. Soto that time high off the block. Rivera, McBride, back to Prosek. And it was tipped. So that will be a point to Lewis. It was wiped off an IPFW player. Lewis, I believe, takes the lead now, Blake.
It's 6-5. Brad Proditis was one of those, he jerked into the play and he couldn't get back in time.
Oh, another great block at the net, this time by Bachorsky with some help from Sims. So now a rally by Lewis. They've gone up by 2 here in game number 4, 7-5.
If Chris Gislin gets any kind of a good pass, Ryan Perrot's going to get the swing at this play.
Right now, Ryan Perrot taking some time tying a shoe, so he wants to make sure it works.
Not a good
Soto,
pass.
Back pass. Oh, Rivera, but a great dig there by Quinones. Down the middle, Rivera, another beautiful dink. Beautiful dink. That makes it a 3-point Lewis lead, 8-5 in favor of the Flyers. Looked like Arnie Ball was going to call a timeout, but instead, Termolen wipes off the floor. It's one of those, again, unofficial timeouts.
He really got away with one there.
Yeah, when you're up there on the court like that talking to your players, you would think you'd be whistling for the TO.
Well, only other than Coach Shondell, every other volleyball coach is supposed to stay on the bench.
Perrot tries the dink. Here comes Bachorsky. Finds the hole and hammers it down. And now it's 9-5 in favor of Lewis. Arnie Ball's seen enough. There'll be a timeout.
I bet he thinks he might have waited one too long right there.
Well, IPFW, again, trying to close it out if they can. But they trail 9-5 here in game number 4. Fans, you too can join in the excitement of IPFW athletics by participating in the Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Club is the official booster club for IPFW athletic teams. Members enjoy priority seating at all IPFW sporting events, food and refreshments in the hospitality room, admission to media luncheons, and association with other Mastodon supporters, just to name a few of the great benefits from being a member of the Royal Dons Club. For information on becoming a member of the Royal Dons Club, call Pat Klein at 481-6643 or write to the Royal Dons Club, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805.
Pat's got to be one of the nicest ladies at the university. IPFW's problem right now is their passing is breaking down terribly. And you can guarantee that Lewis is going to keep serving to Hector Soto until he gets it right.
Now Arnie Ball calling the timeout to try to slow down Lewis and see if he can motivate his team a little bit. IPFW leading the match 2-1. We're in game 4. Lewis up 9-5. A short serve, good dig by Proditis. Soto gets through the block. And Quinones cannot dig it up.
Soto must have been close to touching 12 feet on that. I mean, he was flying up there to get that.
Big side out for the Dons. Here comes the freshman, Chris Gislin. Serves it into the net. Boy, you just can't have that. And the side out returns the ball right back to Lewis. Doug McBride to serve. Here comes Proditis with the big hit. Yes, they're saying it's good. It shaved the line. Oh, Quinones does not like the call. But the side linesman immediately pointed it was on the floor.
I'm not so sure on that one.
Now Soto with the serve. Rivera, the short ball is hit by Sims, and that'll be a kill for Lewis. So the side out returns the ball right back to the Flyers.
Yeah, just when IPFW makes a play and they get a little bit of a break, they give it right back to them.
9-5 Lewis here in game 4. IPFW leading the match 2-1. Baczorski sends a howitzer into the net. Bart Baczorski, another one of those veterans, a senior, not happy with that effort. So here come the Dons trying to cut into that 9-5 Lewis lead. Perrott the short serve, Quinones. McBride falls down as he serves it to Prosek, and Prosek hammers it down deep in the backcourt.
That was a great kill. Proditis and Tremolin were both waiting for him on the block, and he just hit it over top of him and got enough topspin on it to get it in.
Now Eric Sims to serve. Soto with the up. This one to Tremolin. They come down the middle again, and Mike Tremolin picks up yet another kill.
Remember when I said they could get 5 straight swings in the middle? This is the time to get it right here.
Now Proditis to serve. Boy, the Dons having all sorts of serving problems here in game number 4. They are not helping themselves one bit.
That's a quick way for a senior to lose his captaincy right there.
That was a close serve. Tremolin again working the middle. Took the great set from Gislin and put it down to the Dons again with the side out. Now Javi Escobar. The big overhand serve. Oh, McBride, but Rivera is dug by Perrott. And Soto wipes it off with McBride and Rivera.
Soto gets the credit for the kill, but Perrott should get credit for that play. He made a great dig. He just got his hands up at the last instant.
Big point for IPFW. They now trail 9-6 in game 4. Let's see what McBride does here. Goes across to Quinones. There's a super dig by Perrott. Escobar up ahead to Soto. Another good dig by Sims. Now McBride comes to Quinones, the dig. Good save there by Tremolin. Soto has to come, and he puts it down! Hector Soto!
What a great set by Chris Gislin.
That has the fans on their feet, and the Dons within 2 now, 9-7. Good serve.
IPFW gets this point. Lewis will call timeout.
Whoa. Quinones with the big hit. And right now, Proditis is saying there's no place like home. Oh, he took the full bore of that one.
He almost got knocked back to Kansas right there. Oh, that's a smart play by him.
Great play by Gislin. I really think Proditis got rocked by that big hit by Quinones. He just managed to get the pass up, and good anticipation at the net by Gislin to give the side out back to the Dons.
And if you notice, Lewis went right at him with a serve, too.
Now Baczowski. There's that left-handed pound by McBride.
Oh, he called Chris Gislin for being in the net. That's another critical play. But you know what? That play's forgotten completely if IPSW sides out right here.
Well, Dan Brandt is marshaling that net very closely. Now Rivera to serve. Proditis with a good pass. Here it comes to Soto. Oh. Boy, a great dig by Rivera. Now the long shot goes to Baczowski. I'm sorry, Baczorski. Looks like Baczorski's massaging the wing a little bit there. He really swung at that one.
But you called it. That was a great dig by Rivera.
Now 10-7.
Oh, wow.
in favor of Lewis, and it's Rivera with an uncharacteristically poor serve.
That gave IPFW a chance to get back into this game.
Chris Gislin to serve for the Dons. They trail 10-7 here in game 4. Rivera, in the middle it comes, and Sims puts it down.
IPFW really needs to come back to win this 4th game. You go into the 5th game, you're going to have a freshman setter against a senior All-American setter, and usually in the 5th game, the best setter wins.
McBride lofts the serve. Now Gislin. Oh, Proditis with a cannon. McBride couldn't do a thing with it. He was right there, but he just rifled it off the arms. So Brad Proditis gains the side out for the Dons. Now Hector Soto. Pat Karras will say we'll have a reserve there because he had not blown the whistle to signal ball in play.
Hector's in his own little world right now.
Now Hector with the serve. Comes across to Prosek. And it's long. No touch, and the hit is long, so the Dons pick up a big point. They're now within 2 again, trailing 10-8. Quinones. The pass again to Prosek. It's a great up at the net. Escobar saves. Back to Javi. Oh, he blows it through the block. Right through Bachorsky and Sims. Huge hit by Escobar. Dons within 1 at 10-9.
Again, a very nice set for Gislin under intense pressure right there. Boy, 10-9 right now. It'd be nice to see Hector go up and blast one, but they had very good success with his short serve.
And we've got a timeout, Lewis. Dave Deuser trying to stop some of this IPFW momentum, and the Dons play coming back. They'd love to end this in 4.
What they're doing right now, Lewis has had a lot of trouble taking IPFW's short serves, and what they're going to do is try to set up their passing defense right here and try to adjust to it.
Fans, this place is rocking tonight. A great match here between IPFW and Lewis. We hope you're enjoying our live broadcast of IPFW Sports this evening, the season-ending volleyball match between IPFW and Lewis. We welcome your comments and suggestions about College Cable Access Channel 6. If you'd like to send us a card, address it to Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805.
Let's see if Lewis tries to come back with Bachorsky trying to hit over Escobar for IPFW.
Well, and hopefully this is a preview of what we'll have in 2 weeks when the MIVA tournament comes to Memorial Coliseum. I believe it's April 18 and 19, Blake, and boy, fans, you just want to get out there and check out because that is some of the finest volleyball you're going to see played anywhere in the nation.
One of those 2 guys really needs a shave.
The guy with the nose. Well, that time the timeout by Deuser works for Lewis. Soto serves into the net.
What a brutal mistake.
Bart Bachorsky, fine outside hitter for Lewis with the serve. Here comes Javi. Well, they saw that dink coming all over the place. Rivera has to go back, though.
They get another chance.
Bachorsky flutters it over the net. Here comes Escobar.
Not a good set.
Dug by Bachorsky. Now it's Prosek. Great block by Escobar. And it falls out of bounds.
That play was doomed right from the start. Not a good serve, not a good set. Nothing went right that time for IPFW.
A point for the Flyers. 11-9, Lewis. Bart Bachorsky to serve. Soto comes back to Soto. He hits it long, so boy, that timeout really worked in Lewis's favor. Arnie Ball is not happy in front of the IPFW bench. 12-9 in favor of the Flyers.
That was a good set. Hector just missed it.
Now Gislin comes to Escobar. It's like it hit the antenna, so that'll be out. And now it's 13-9 in favor of Lewis. Arnie Ball is not happy. He's calling for a substitution. So Brian Harris returns to the Dons. And Mike Tremolin sits down, and Arnie Ball is not happy with the way his team has been hitting here the last couple of trips. Bachorsky with the serve. It's a short ball. Soto barely can get the ball up in the air, and Harris can do nothing with it.
Brian is a defensive back row specialist. If he's got a swing, the point's over.
14-9 Lewis. Good comeback here by the Flyers in game 4, serving to square this match at 2 apiece. and Sims puts the ball down, and that will do it. 15-9. Lewis has roared back to take game number 4, so we will go to a deciding 5th game. And there Arnie Ball is making some notes here as they prepare for game number 5. So we are even at 2 games apiece, heading for that deciding 5th game. Stay with us for the 5th and deciding game here. IPFW and Lewis will be back after these messages. Ken Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gate Center. We're getting ready for a 5th and deciding game here between IPFW and Lewis and the regular season finale here at the Hilliard Gate Center. Blake, and what a great match this has been. And of course now we head for that wonderful 5th game and the always popular and gut-wrenching rally scoring.
Yeah, it's volleyball's answer to shootout in hockey. That's what it is. Usually what happens in a rally scoring 5th game, every serve counts for points on both sides. Usually what happens, the team with the best setter wins, which in this case you would think Lewis would win hands down. They've got All-American Doug McBride, who's been great, and IPFW's got freshman Chris Gislin. But tonight, Gislin has outplayed McBride, so that gives IPFW a chance.
Our telecast this evening sponsored in part by Midwest Vending and Beverage, your local distributor of great tasting, always fresh home juice products. Ask your grocer for them, Midwest Vending and Beverage. Boy, do we appreciate their support and their sponsorship of tonight's great match. IPFW won the toss here for the 5th game, Blake, and elected to receive. So here we go. It'll be Doug McBride to serve to get this thing underway.
This is uncharacteristic. Usually you want to serve right away.
Braditis, the one-handed set. Perrott couldn't put it down the first time, but the second time, he does. Oh, a point for the Dons. They take a 1-0 lead.
They did get a break because Perrott hit the ball out of bounds.
I think he just wiped it off, though. I think he just scattered a little bit off the block. Now Perrott with the serve. McBride with the back set. Pachorski, and that wipes off an IPFW block, so we're even at 1.
They really went at Escobar that time from his 5'10" height, and he was the only one up, and he was dead.
1-1 in this deciding 5th game. Been a great match. Pachorski with the serve. Coming right through is Braditis. Braditis again using that screen.
I hesitated. I was going to say, watch for the combination, but you wouldn't give me the microphone.
2-1 IPFW, Brad Braditis to serve. The back set goes to Prosek. Braditis with a dig, but right at the net is Eric Sims. and we're even at 2.
All right, I wouldn't be surprised if they came right back with a combination again.
Again, with Raleigh scoring, there is a point on every play, no side outs. Oh, Escobar may have saved one that was going out. Freditis, great block to the net, and Quinones keeps it alive. Prosek, dug it back by Soto, now the back set to Freditis. Great block at the net by Rivera and Quinones.
Twice on that play, IPFW played balls that were going out of bounds. That should have been their point.
3-2, Lewis and the Flyers to serve. Eric Sims, a freshman out of Glenview, Illinois. One of the great role players on this team. Escobar, oh, good dig by Sims. Oh, I think Rivera. Oh, Rivera had an open court and he missed it. He rode the net and just flipped it out of bounds. The Dons pick up the point. We're even 3-3. Escobar to serve. Prosek, kind of a low pass, comes back to Prosek. I believe they're ruling Soto in the net.
No, they're saying Tremolin.
Lewis. Right you are, they're saying number 14, Blake, that would be Tremolin, so he's called for in the net. 4-3 Lewis. Mike Prosek, the opposite out of Oakland, Illinois. Soto, the short ball, and Tremolin has it blocked right back in his face by Rivera.
That time they tried to force middle, and it was not a good set to do it with.
But wait a second. Now they're calling Rivera in the net, so the Dons pick up the point.
Actually, they're calling Sims, number 11, in the net.
I'm sorry, I thought they said number 4.
I called 4, one ref called 11.
Somebody was in the net for the Flyers, so we're even 4-4. Rivera saved by the shoulder of Escobar. Here's Soto. Good dig by Prosek. Long set goes to Quinones. Oh, the Dons had the block, but then couldn't find the ball. Gislin and Farrat, but the ball came down behind them. 5-4 in favor of Lewis. Quinones to serve. A floater. Soto puts it up. Comes back to Hector. And he's got it down. Hector Soto comes through 5-5.
Hector got a real nice pass that time, and Chris rewarded him with a good set.
And Gislin to serve. We're even 5-5. The back set. Oh!
Rivera tried to slide.
I don't think Rivera knows, but Rivera thinks that was good. He can't believe the call. It was waved out immediately. Oh, Victor Rivera is beside himself. He just cannot believe the call. He was running back to take the serve, and now there's a conference at the net with Pat Karras and I believe Doug McBride.
We could see that play. It was right in front of us, and it did look like that ball was wide.
And now they're trying to work the officials a little bit. The Dons have taken the 6-5 lead. Quinones. It comes to Baczorski. Oh, what a great save by Escobar. Now from the back row, Escobar. They try that little gliding again, and that time Rivera's rejected. Save by Baczorski. Oh, McBride wipes it off the middle block of IPFW.
If he's a right-handed setter, that's IPFW's point, because there's no way he can swing on that ball.
But instead, the ball comes right into his wheelhouse, and he puts the spokes to her. Now Rivera. Escobar up. Here it comes to Freditis. He tore it off of McBride. But Brad Freditis wipes it off of Doug McBride. 7-6. IPFW, the Dons to serve. Hector Soto needs a good serve. Quinones with the up. Coming down the middle is Prosek. Oh, there's a great dig by Tremolin. Soto from the back row. Missed it. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
We're halfway through anybody's match right here.
All even at 2 apiece, and Raleigh scoring in the 5th game. It's 7-7. This has been a terrific volleyball match. Ken Horman and Blake Sebring live here on College Cable Access Channel 6. Glad you could join us. Here come the Dons. Farrat couldn't put it down. Now Prosek up at the net. Escobar with the save. Now Gislin back for Freditis. What a great dig by Rivera. Now the set comes to Baczorski. That's high off the block. Tremolin keeps it alive. Baczorski again. The block. Now Rivera.
Backside.
Prosek. Another great block by the Dons at the net. Oh! Perrott wipes it off at the net. What a great play by the Dons. And they'll switch sides midway through.
That ought to give IPFW some momentum going into the last half of this game. But actually, the score is 8-7 IPFW, but we're right back where we started. But IPFW will have to serve after this play.
17-15 Lewis in game 1, 15-13 IPFW game 2, 15-4 the Dons in game 3, 15-9 Lewis game 4. We're in the deciding 5th game with Raleigh scoring. The Dons up 8-7 and serving. And it'll be the man who just made the spectacular play, Ryan Perrott. Well, I was going to say he was about to serve for the Dons, but he'll take a chair, and Justin Luna checks into the IPFW lineup. Oh, some pressure on Justin Luna just coming in off the bench. Needs the good serve. Ooh, a great floater. McBride for Prosek. Oh, what a block by Brad Proditis! 9-7 IPFW, and Proditis stuffed Mike Prosek.
If you're wondering, IPFW is 3-1 in 5th games this season, and Lewis is 1-2.
Ooh, the serve by Luna just gets over the net. The back set. Hello, that would be Victor Rivera. No mistake that time. Right on down the line. A point for Lewis. Closes the gap to 9-8 IPFW. Pachorski to serve. Long set goes to Escobar. He wipes it off the block again. Off of Sims and Prosek. Javi Escobar with the big hit. 10-8 IPFW. What a match. Ooh, just before they whistled the ball in play, there was a timeout called by Lewis. So Dave Doiser wants to try to get his team to regroup a bit.
He saw something because he came flying off the bench to call that. He saw something in IPFW's rotation that he didn't like, that he thought they could take advantage of. So he called timeout right away.
Fans, we appreciate the great sponsors event tonight so we can bring you this match live here on Channel 6. Channel 6 is now accepting sponsors for the televising of 1997-98 IPFW sporting events and other programs. For more information on how your organization can take advantage of this opportunity, call the Channel 6 office during business hours. The number, 481-6000. That's 481-6000. There's the address, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Or email us at channel6@smtplink.ipfw.indiana.edu. So we would love to have your support. The great sponsors making this broadcast possible tonight, and your support could help broadcast many more IPFW events live in 1997-98. Proditis to serve. McBride goes back to Prosek. Oh, and he got it off the block, and nobody could quite get to it. So Prosek with the kill. The point Lewis closes the gap to 10-9. Eric Sims with the serve. Proditis steps in. The set down the middle. Proditis a little dink. Now McBride sets back for Prosek. And he found some daylight. So Prosek with back-to-back big hits for even at 10.
This one gave Proditis a ball he really couldn't do anything with on that one. It was one of his weaker sets tonight, and he's had an outstanding match.
Proditis again steps in. The set goes to Escobar. Oh! Ho, ho, ho! Ripped it off of Prosek. So the kill by Escobar gives the Dons the lead again, 11-10.
Whoever makes the next defensive play might be able to win this match, because right now both teams are just siding out and nobody's been able to put any pressure on the other team's defense.
Tim Casey checks back in for Lewis while Eric Sims sits down. So Casey coming in the back row, and he has to dig one right away. Down the middle, oh, Prosek, a little bit of mistiming there. Here come the Dons. Proditis off the block, and the point for IPFW. Oh, the big hit by Proditis, 12-10 Dons.
All right, now the pressure is all on Lewis. It's full-point lead for IPFW. He's going to try to serve Casey again.
And he does. McBride goes to the middle. Rivera's blocked. They have to regroup. Ooh, I'll tell you. Victor Rivera can just plain hit.
Anybody else on the team, and that might have been a point for IPFW, but what a great equalizer Rivera is.
Wow. 12-11 IPF.
Interesting, very interesting call of timeout.
The Dons nursing a 1-point lead, 12-11 IPFW.
Here's what happened right now. If you can pan over to the IPFW bench, Arnie Ball's talking with Mark Franke, the Wiz. He wants to know what play Lewis is going to come out of this timeout with, so he can tell the defense and set up the defense.
Here you see the scores of the match so far. It's been a dandy. IPFW raced out to a big 11-4 lead in game number 1. Lewis rallied to win it 17-15. Lewis had the lead in game number 2. The Dons rallied to take that one 15-13. IPFW game 3, 15-4. Lewis in the fourth game, 15-9. And there you see it here in the rally scoring in game number 5, 12-10 IPFW.
If you saw Mark Franke, he's the guy holding the big piece of wood. And he's got 6 pieces of paper on that wood. And he tracks where Lewis hits the ball on every rotation.
Soto with the up. It comes back to Hector. Oh, he tried to get it through the block. Great save by Prosek. Now it comes back to Rivera. And a great block by IPFW. Oh, the Dons at the net with a super block, and it came down inbounds. The Dons lead 13-11.
Mark Franke called it right, didn't he?
Ryan Carrot checks back in favor of Justin Luna. Just a huge point for IPFW. Termolin with a big floater. Baczorski. Oh, there's Rivera with that little gliding play.
You knew he'd go right back to him after he messed up on the
13-12 IPFW. Eduardo Quinones with the serve.
Hector's getting this one.
Here he comes. Quinones with a great save in the back row. Now here comes Baczorski through the block, and Escobar can't get there. Got it through Gislin and Carrot. Just like that, we're even at 13, and Arnie Ball calls timeout. Oh, great comeback there on that last sequence by Lewis.
What a great match this has been. It's been a lot of fun tonight.
If Lewis does come up with the victory here, the Flyers will clinch at least a tie for the MIVA championship, and they will clinch the first seed in the MIVA tournament, which will be here in Fort Wayne in just a couple of weeks. On April 18th and 19th, that'll be at Memorial Coliseum. So folks, for some of the finest volleyball action in the land, you'll want to be at the Coliseum in a couple of weeks for the MIVA tournament.
All right, watch and see if IPFW uses that combination play in the middle, where one guy goes through to draw the blockers in the air, and then a second guy coming through hits the ball. It all depends on if they can give Chris Gislin a good pass to work with.
Well, they're rocking the joint here now. Let's see. Fans trying to spur the Dons on into regrouping here and taking control of this match.
Oh.
What a time for a service ace, Eduardo Quinones. Wow, the big service ace, and now match point for Lewis. Another great serve, Soto. Oh, super dig by Quinones. Prosek, now the Dons keep it alive, Proditis. Gislin with the set for Soto. Oh, we had him in the net. The Flyers were in the net. The Dons will take the ball, and the point, we're even at 14.
Timeout, Lewis. Man, what a chess match this has been tonight.
Well, this has had everything. Everything. It's had power. It's had finesse. And now, like as you say, Blake, a couple of chess masters, Arnie Ball and Dave Neuser, are trying to plot strategy and also try to change the momentum, change the big tide with these timeouts.
Well, what's going to happen here is they're probably going to design a play for either Prosek or Rivera, and IPFW is going to come back with Soto in transition. But they could really mess everybody up if IPFW came back middle right now. But Lewis is going to serve. I'm sorry, actually IPFW will serve. It'll be Baczorski or Rivera.
Well, once again, folks, you can see the great line on this one. 2-point win for Lewis in game 1, 2-point win for the Dons in game 2. The Dons with game 3. Lewis coming back for game 4, and 14-14 here in the 5th.
If Chris Gislin could put this serve about 5 feet over the net, I think Lewis would wet their pants, because there's no way they get to it.
Instead, he goes deep. Bachorsky puts it up. Comes back to Bachorsky. Oh, what a great block by Brad Praditis! Praditis with the great block at the net. 15-14 IPFW. They have match point.
He's going to put Sims in. IPFW will probably try to serve Bachorsky number 3 here.
Eric Sims in. Tim Casey sits down. This could be a great win for the Dons. They have a match point in their hand. The serve by Gislin.
This will go to Rivera.
Here we go. Oh, Rivera comes right down the middle and wipes it off. 15-15. Whoa.
All right, IPFW will probably come back with Soto.
The man who prolonged this match, Victor Rivera, to serve. Escobar puts it up. Oh, it's the big hit by Praditis again. Boy, this is a match Brad Praditis will remember forever. His final match in this building, the outstanding senior. Boy, has he come up with some big swings. Another match point for the Dons. Brian Harris comes in for the Dons in favor of Mike Termolen. 16-15 IPFW. Listen to the crowd.
You know it's going to be Bachorsky or Rivera. Rivera.
Oh! They're saying that he missed the kill. They're saying it is high and long. The Dons win the match. IPFW, Blake has won this one in 5, taking the deciding game 17-15. What a match this has been.
This will be a huge boost to IPFW's confidence. They won a big, big match at home. Right after they beat Long Beach a couple weeks ago. They beat one of the teams they're going to have to beat in 2 weeks at the MIVA tournament if they want to go back to the Final Four.
There you see the scores. 17-15, 15-13, 15-4, 15-9, and 17-15 in the deciding game for IPFW. Just a tremendous match for the Dons. We'll be back with our player of the game after these brief messages. Stay with us. I'll introduce it and I'll give it to you.
Hey, Colin!
Ken Orban and Blake Sebring back here at the Henry Gage Sports Center, where the IPFW Mastodons have come up to win a thrilling 5-game match with Lewis. There you see the final scores. The Dons taking that thrilling 5th game and rally, scoring 17-15. And Blake Sebring, we are here with our star of the game. What a great effort tonight.
We're here with Chris Gislin, freshman center. Chris, you outplayed a senior All-American.
Oh, the passing was great tonight. It all helps when they pass the ball. It makes it so much easier.
Talk to me about that fifth game. Usually in a fifth game, the team with the best setter wins. And being a freshman going against a senior like that, what was that like?
I don't know about that. Doug McBride played great tonight, and the passing tonight, our middles hit well. Everybody played great tonight. Everybody did a great job tonight. So
you have gotten quite a bit of encouragement, I think is the word, from Coach Ball and Schmidlin. I mean, they're always yelling at you, it seems like.
Yeah, they help me out. They let me know where the ball's going to come from, how I have to dig the ball, and where their blocking scheme is, so I know where their weakest blocker is, and they help me out a lot by doing that.
How much is this victory going to help you guys prepare for the MIVA tournament?
Oh, this is a big pump up. We know that we can play with anybody in there, and a lot of teams are picking us to win the MIVA and go to the Final Four. So if we don't do that, I don't know, it'll be kind of a letdown, but I think we will.
You think you've made a lot of progress this year individually?
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the year, just technical stuff that coaches helped me out with a lot, so it's been great.
All right, congratulations, Chris, and thanks a lot for being the player of the game.
And once again, congratulations to Chris Gislin and the entire IPFW squad. Just a super match tonight. The Dons again winning it and just doing an outstanding job winning this one again in 5, 15-17, 15-13, 15-4, 9-15, and 17-15. And Blake, you know, there might have been a couple of moments when you thought that IPFW might have some problems as far as coming at these guys. They got off to the great start, kind of let it get away. They came back again, looked like they let it get away in the fourth, and it was anybody's match in the fifth. The Dons, though, coming up big when they had to.
Well, you can see why Arnie Ball's ulcer's been acting up this season, too. That's what happens when you have a young team. They have ups and downs, and tonight they had them all in the
I'll tell you, it's been a pleasure working this one with you. We appreciate the chance to bring this to all of our people at home watching live tonight on Cable Channel 6, so it has been a super match. And by the way, tonight's IPFW men's volleyball match has been brought to you in part by Midwest Vending and Beverage, your local distributor of great tasting, always fresh home juice products. Ask your grocer. The telecast of this IPFW sporting event is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW University. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or other use of this event without express written permission is strictly prohibited. It was a great one tonight here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. Again, IPFW finishing regular season play in great fashion, coming back to beat Lewis 15-17, 15-13, 15-4, 9-15, and 17-15. Don't forget the MIVA tournament in just a couple of weeks here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, April 18th and 19th. That'll be at Memorial Coliseum, and that should be a dandy. So get out to the Coliseum and support that great tournament and IPFW volleyball. Thanks again for joining us this evening. For my cohort, Blake Sebring, this is Ken Harmon saying so long, everybody.